The night air was chilly, streetlights buzzed. Steam curled up from a tiny noodle stand on the corner. It wasn't a fancy place, just a cart, two plastic stools, one old umbrella with a tear in the side, but the broth, yeah, that was magic. Behind the stand, a young woman moved fast but calm. Her name was Lin Xiawei, thin ponytail, cheap apron, eyes that looked tired but still kind. Next to her, standing on a little upside-down crate, was a girl, 6 years old. Round cheeks, big curious eyes. Her name was Wu Yu, but everyone called her Wayu. Mom, he's staring again, Wayu whispered. On the far stool, an old man sat hunched over a chipped bowl. His coat was too big. His hands were shaking a little. He kept looking at the leftovers inside the trash can. He'd finished his bowl, but his eyes kept drifting to the uneaten noodles left by other customers. He licked his lips, then he slowly stood up. Boss, he muttered, voice rough, I'm done, just leave that. He pointed at a plate another customer had barely touched. Xiawei froze, so did Wayu. The old man reached for the plate. Hey, Grandpa, Xiawei said quickly. Don't eat that, it's leftovers. He flinched like a kid caught stealing. Sorry, he mumbled. I only had a couple bites just now. I don't have much cash. I thought maybe. He dug into his pocket, pulled out a crumpled bill. $2, that was it. I only have this, he said. Is that okay? If not, I'll just go. Wayu hopped off the crate. She marched over, tiny hands on her hips. Grandpa, she said, very serious. My mom says eating leftovers will mess up your tummy. You'll get sick, like for real. The old man blinked at her, then gave a weak laugh. It's all right, girl. I've lived long enough. Yeah. Well, you're not dying at my noodle stand, Xiawei cut in. Sit back down. She snatched the plate out of his hand, dropped it in the trash, turned to the pot. Mom, that's our last portion, Wayu whispered. I know, Xiawei whispered back. We'll just eat rice tonight. She grabbed fresh noodles, fresh broth, extra meat, extra green onions, walked over, set the steaming bowl down in front of him. The old man stared at it. I can't pay for this, he said quietly. Oh, don't worry about it, Xiawei smiled. You're our lucky charm tonight. She tapped a little notebook by the stove. We decided, she said, every 100th customer gets a free bowl. Wayu jumped in. Yeah. You're our 100th customer tonight, Grandpa. $0, full vibes. The old man's eyes got shiny. Really? He whispered. Yup. Wayu gave him a thumbs up. No cap, Grandpa. It's on the house. He took the chopsticks. Hands still shaking, took one bite, then another. He stopped, closed his eyes. This, he breathed. This is the best noodles I've had in my whole life. Wayu grinned. Then you gotta come back, okay? I'll be here every night. You better not ghost us. The old man laughed, a real laugh this time. I'll come back, he said softly. I promise. He finished every last drop, even drank the broth. When he stood up, he bowed deeply. Thank you, he said. You too saved me tonight. It's just noodles, Grandpa, Xiawei said. Get home safe. The old man shuffled away. Under the street lamp, his shadow looked smaller than his coat. When he turned the corner, a black sedan waited at the curb. A man in a suit leaned against it. Tall, sharp jawline, expensive watch. He looked like the kind of guy who never had to worry about the price of noodles. Grandpa, he rushed forward. Where did you go this time? You've been missing for a week. Do you know how freaked out we were? The old man squinted at him. Are you my grandson? He asked. Sheng Yan something. It's me. Sheng Yan Kai, he took his grandfather's arm gently. You scared the crap out of me, old man. The driver hurried over. Mr. Sheng, we finally found him, the driver said. He was sitting at that noodle stall back there. Grandpa slapped his grandson's hand away. Let go, I'm not going home yet. Grandpa, I still need to find someone, the old man insisted. I can't go back. Find who? My granddaughter-in-law, the old man said. If you'd hurry up and marry a decent girl and give me some great grandkids, I'd stay home, but you never do. So now I gotta look myself. The driver looked like he wanted to laugh but didn't dare. Yankai sighed. Grandpa, please, not this again. I'm serious, Grandpa said. Tonight I met one. She runs that little noodle stand. He turned, pointing down the street. She's kind, didn't judge me, gave me a fresh bowl even when I couldn't pay. And that little girl with her, he smiled. Sweetest kid ever, Yankai followed his finger. The cart was just a tiny glow at the end of the block. He couldn't see much, just a woman's silhouette and a small one beside her. Her noodles, Grandpa said, best I've ever eaten. If she marries into our family, I'll eat happily for the rest of my life. All right, Yankai said. I'll swing by sometime and try it. No, Grandpa said firmly. Not sometime, soon. He tugged on his grandson's sleeve. I'm telling you, that girl is different, you'll see. Back at the noodle cart, Xiawei started cleaning up. The street was almost empty now, trash truck in the distance. Neon signs flickering off one by one. Mom, Wayu said. That grandpa was funny. He was, Xiawei smiled, but he looked lonely too. She wiped the table, then pulled a folded paper from her pocket. Mom, what's that? She hesitated, then knelt down so they were eye to eye. Remember the old house we used to live in? She asked. The one they tore down for the new road, the one with the leaky roof, Wayu wrinkled her nose, where the rain came in like our ceiling was crying. Yeah, that one, Xiawei laughed. Well, the government finally paid the relocation money. Wayu blinked. What's that mean? It means, Xiawei said slowly, they gave us money for taking the house. How much? 2 million, she said. Plus what mom has saved these years, we've got about 3 million total now. Wayu's jaw dropped. 3 million what dollars? RMB, Xiawei chuckled. Calm down, baller. So, we're rich now, Wayu whispered. We're okay now, Xiawei said. We can buy a real place, no more tiny rental, no more leaking ceilings. She tapped Wayu's nose. You'll have your own room, she said, with a real bed and a little desk and shelves for your books. Maybe even glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling. Wayu's eyes got glossy. Mom, she said quietly, I want a big house, yeah, but I don't want you working yourself to death. Xiawei's smile wobbled. When I grow up, Wayu said, fists clenched, I'm gonna hustle hard. I'll give you a better life, for real. You won't have to do this every night. Deal, Xiawei whispered, but until then, she nodded toward the cart. We grind together, come on, let's pack up and go tell Dad the good news. Somewhere across town, in a very different part of the city, music thumped inside a fancy rooftop bar. Warm lighting, marble floors, wine glasses clinking. On a balcony, a guy leaned against the railing, hands in his pockets, expensive shirt, but his eyes darted around nervously. His name was Wu Hao. Standing in front of him was a woman in a tight dress and perfect makeup. Her nails were done, her perfume was loud, her name was Liu Zuding. She traced a finger down his arm. So, she said, Wu Hao, when are you gonna marry me? He forced a laugh. Babe, don't rush it, he said. You know my situation, I haven't officially registered with Lin Xiawei yet. You mean you never married her, Zuding said. You lived together, she took care of you, but on paper, she waved her hand. She's a nobody. He didn't answer. She smirked. My dad says, she went on, if you marry me, he'll give you some shares in his company. We'd be loaded, for real. I told you, Wu Hao said. Once the house is in my name, I'll handle it. I promised Xiawei that once I bought a home, we'd get the certificate. She's been waiting 7 years. Once the deed lands, I'll drop her. You swear? Zuding asked. You know I'm pregnant, right? He stiffened. I know, he said. Just give me a little more time, okay? She smiled slowly. Okay, she said, but you better move. I'm not playdating forever, babe. He forced another smile, but his eyes were restless. His phone buzzed. A message from Xiawei popped up. Business was good tonight. I'll be home late. Got something big to tell you. He slid the screen shut, didn't reply. By the time Xiawei and Wayu got home, it was close to midnight. They lived in a small apartment at the edge of the city, peeling paint, thin walls, but Xiawei had tried to make it cozy. She opened the door with her shoulder. Baby, I'm home. Inside, the TV was on, some loud variety show. Wu Hao's mother, Aunt Wu, sat on the couch. She turned her head. Finally, Aunt Wu snapped. What are you doing out this late with a kid? You trying to turn her into a street rat? Grandma, Wayu said carefully. We were working, Aunt Wu sniffed. Kid's 6. At that age, my son never had to work a day, she bragged. He was born to be a boss. Where's Wu Hao? Xiawei asked. As if on cue, the door opened behind her. Honey, I'm back, Wu Hao stepped in, jacket over his arm, hair styled. He looked like he'd had a good night. Daddy, Wayu yelled, running over. You're back. He scooped her up, spun her once. My baby girl, he said. Why aren't you asleep? Waiting for you, she said. We got big news. Xiawei walked over, smiling. Babe, she said. Guess what? She stopped, sniffed the air. Huh, she said lightly. You smell like perfume. Fancy stuff too. Wu Hao didn't flinch. Oh, he said casually. My coworker dragged me into some store, said we should pick out a fragrance as a gift for you. We tested a few, then I remembered you don't even like perfume. So I left. He pulled a small box from his pocket. But I got you this instead, he said. A bracelet, so when you wear it, it's like I'm there with you. Aunt Wu watched with a proud little smirk, such a smooth talker, her son. Xiawei's suspicion melted. She touched the bracelet like it was made of gold. Thank you, she whispered. All right, Aunt Wu broke in. What was that big news you mentioned? Don't drag it out like some TV drama. Xiawei straightened. Tonight, she said, the relocation money came. Wu Hao's body stiffened just a little. How much? He asked. 2 million for the old house, she said, plus my savings from the stall, another million. We've got about 3 million to work with. Aunt Wu's eyes went wide. 3 million, she breathed. For real? Yeah, Xiawei said. We can finally buy a real place in the city, a big house, no more renting. She turned to Wu Hao. Babe, she said, you promised, once we bought a house, we'd get the marriage certificate, right? Wu Hao paused, then smiled like a man on camera. Of course, he said. Once the house is bought, we'll get the certificate. I'll marry you properly. No more waiting, really? Xiawei asked, eyes shining. Really, he said, you've worked your butt off these years. It's time you enjoyed life. Aunt Wu clapped her hands. That's my son, she said. Knew you'd make us proud. Xiawei, don't forget, the house should be under his name. He'll be the head of the family in the city. You're just the woman, don't think too big. Xiawei swallowed, nodded. As long as it's our home, she said softly. Names don't matter to me, but deep down something flickered, just a tiny pinch of unease. That night, exhaustion hit her hard. After everyone fell asleep, Xiawei lay on the thin mattress next to Wayu. The girl's tiny hand rested on her mother's arm. The room was quiet, fans spinning, city noises muffled. Slowly, the lines of the day blurred, the sound of boiling broth, Grandpa's wrinkled smile, Wu Hao's promise. She drifted into a dream. In the dream, she was in a hospital room. White lights, sharp smell of disinfectant. She was sweating, breathing hard, doctors shouting, "I see the head, push," but it wasn't just one baby. "One more," a nurse said. "No, three more, what the?" she heard crying. Not one, not two, four different cries. Her arms reached out, but before she could hold them, someone grabbed the babies. "Where are you taking my kids?" she screamed. "Bring them back." "Those are my babies," no one answered. The room started to melt away, doors slammed shut, the cries echoed. "Mommy, mommy," she jolted awake, heart racing, sweat on her forehead. The room was dark again. Only one small body in her arms, just Wayu. "Stupid brain," she muttered. "You're too tired." She pressed her lips to her daughter's hair. "You're my one and only treasure," she whispered. "Just you, that's enough." But the dream wouldn't leave. It sat in the back of her mind, like a door left cracked open. The next morning, high above the city, sunlight hit the glass windows of Sheng Group headquarters. In a sleek office, President Sheng Yan Kai stood looking out over the skyline. His assistant, Secretary Su, held a tablet scrolling. "Mr. Sheng," Su said, "about yesterday, we picked up old Master Sheng near an alley in the East District." Again, Yang Kai rubbed his temples. "How far did he wander this time?" "A week," Su said. "He was eating at a street noodle stall when we found him." "Was he all right?" Yang Kai asked. "He was fine," Su answered. Actually, he wouldn't stop talking about it. "About what?" "About the noodles," Su said, "and the woman who cooked them and a little girl." Yang Kai turned around. "What did he say?" Su pulled up a short video. The driver had recorded Grandpa talking in the car on the way back. On screen, Grandpa laughed. "I'm telling you," he said, "best noodles of my life. That girl was so kind. Didn't even let me touch leftovers. Gave me a fresh bowl. Said I was their 100th customer. I know she made that up, but she made me feel like I still mattered." He paused. "And her kid," he added. 6-year-old girl, smart mouth, brave, called me Grandpa like we were family. That's the granddaughter-in-law I want. You tell that stubborn brat grandson of mine he'd better move." The clip ended. Su looked up. "You see," he said, "old master is obsessed. He's been asking about the noodle girl since last night." "What's the stall called?" Yang Kai asked. "Doesn't have a name," Su said, "just a folding cart." He swiped to another file. "There's something else," he went on, "about the thing from 7 years ago." Yang Kai's jaw tightened. "Go on," he said. "We still can't restore the footage from Greenfield Hotel," Su said, "but we rechecked the people surrounding the case. One of the men on the suspect list works in one of our factories. Name: Wu Hao." The name hung in the air like a bad smell. "Wu Hao," Sheng repeated. "That guy who just got promoted to deputy director?" "Yes," Su said. "There's a possibility, we're not sure." But he hesitated. "There's also a woman we found on the records. 7 years ago, she was in that hotel too. Age didn't match for marriage registration at the time. Name: Lin Xiawei." Something in Yang Kai's chest shifted. "What about her now?" he asked quietly. "She runs a noodle cart at night," Su said. "Has a daughter. People say the kid's 6. 6, Sheng said. "Not 8, Su shook his head. "Reports say 6, he said. "But yesterday, when old master described the child, he said she looked a bit older. You know how age works at that stage, hard to tell." Yang Kai looked back out the window, eyes unfocused. 7 years, a foggy night, a missing memory. A jade pendant he kept in a drawer, a promise he couldn't keep. "The timeline fits," he murmured. "If the child is 6 or 7, he clenched his jaw. "Find out more," he said, quietly, "don't spook them." "Yes, sir," Su said. "And that noodle stall," Sheng added. "Send me the address, I'll go taste it myself." That evening, the cart was back in its usual spot. Same cheap plastic stools, same flickering street lamp, same pot simmering like a heartbeat. "Mom, you're spacing out," Wayu said, waving a hand in front of her face. "Sorry," Xiawei laughed. "Just thinking." "About the house?" the girl asked. "Yeah," she admitted, "about the house." "About everything. Dad said we can get the marriage paper after we buy it," Wayu said. "You happy now?" "Of course," Xiawei said. "I've wanted that for a long time." "You should have made him do it sooner," Wayu sighed, sounding way too grown. "Guys are lazy if you don't push them." "Who taught you that?" Xiawei laughed. "YouTube," the girl shrugged. A shadow fell over the cart. "2 bowls," a deep voice said. "One with extra beef, one plain. And a Coke if you got it." Xiawei looked up. A man stood there in casual clothes, black hoodie, jeans, sneakers. He didn't look like a CEO. He looked like any normal guy off work. But his eyes, they were too sharp. "Sure," Xiawei said. "Sit anywhere." He sat on the stool where Grandpa had been the night before. Wayu glanced at him, then whispered to her mom. "He kinda looks like that actor we saw on TV," she said. "But like broke version." "Don't be rude," Xiawei whispered back, hiding a smile. She moved with practiced ease. Noodles, broth, toppings, set the first bowl down in front of him. "Careful, it's hot," she said. He picked up the chopsticks, took one bite, his eyes flicked up, surprised. "That good, huh?" Wayu asked, leaning on the table, chin on her hands. He swallowed. It's legit, he said. Broth's clean, not too salty. Noodles have bite. You made this? Who else? Xiawei said. You see another chef here? He studied her face. Something nagged at him, something weirdly familiar. How old's your kid? He asked casually. Waiyu answered before her mom could. I'm 6, she said. 8, Xiawei said at the same time. They stopped, looked at each other. 6, the man repeated softly. Or 8, 6, Waiyu insisted. But mom keeps saying 8, I don't get it. Xiawei forced a laugh. She thinks being older makes her look cool, she said quickly. Ignore her, he smiled, but his mind was racing. If she's 6, the math is tight. If she's 8, it's perfect. He watched the girl, her face, her eyes, her little attitude. Something twisted in his chest. He looked at Xiawei again, at the way she moved, the way her brow furrowed when she counted change, the way she reached out and steadied the pot without even looking. 7 years ago, a dark hotel room. A woman's soft voice saying, "You smell like trouble." He'd never seen her face clearly, but pieces were starting to click, or maybe he was just desperate to believe it. Miss, he said finally. Have we met somewhere before? Xiawei shook her head instantly. No way, she said. If I'd met someone dressed like that, I'd remember. You look like you walked out of a clothing ad, he chuckled. Maybe I just have one of those faces, he said. Or maybe, she added, you're one of those guys who asks every girl the same line. Waiyu gasped. Mom, drag him. He laughed for real then. Fair enough, he said. Enjoying the roast with my noodles, I guess, she smirked. If you're not eating, I gotta keep working, she said. Noodles don't sell themselves. He lowered his head and ate, but his heart wasn't calm, he didn't know yet. If fate was playing with him, if this woman was really the one who'd been living in his memories for 7 years, but one thing was clear, he was not walking away this time, not without finding out the truth. The man in the hoodie finished his noodles, paid, thanked her, then he left just like any regular customer, but Xiawei felt weird after he walked away, like the night had shifted, just a little. Mom, you okay? Waiyu asked. Yeah, she said, he just reminded me of someone, that's all. An ex, girl, she flicked her daughter's forehead. Go pack the bowls. The million she turned down the next morning, the noodle cart was tucked away, dishes washed. Floor swept, Xiawei was at home, hair in a messy bun, counting money at the small table, stacks of notes. The relocation paper, her heart was racing. 3 million on paper anyway. They were finally about to stop living like ghosts on the edge of the city. Mom, are we really buying a house? Waiyu asked, sprawled on the floor with a pencil. Yes, Xiawei said. We're going to see some places this week. In the actual city with elevators that don't scream. That's fire, Waiyu grinned. Can I have glow-in-the-dark stars? We'll see. A knock sounded on the door, 3 firm taps, not their landlord. He always banged like he owned the building. Who is it? Xiawei called. Food delivery, a man's voice answered. We didn't order anything, she said. He hesitated a second, then another voice spoke up, low, calm, the one from last night. Miss Lin, he said, it's me, from the stall, the guy with 2 bowls and a Coke. She frowned, opened the door a crack. He stood there, not in a hoodie this time, crisp shirt, dark slacks, still low-key, but definitely not broke. Behind him stood the same driver from the video secretary Sue had shown, and another man in glasses. That one looked like assistant, written in human form. Wow, Waiyu whispered behind her. You clean up nice, sir. Xiawei stepped halfway into the doorway, blocking the view inside. What are you doing here? She asked. You following me now? Sorry for just showing up, he said. I came to thank you for noodles, she asked. They weren't that good. Not just for noodles, he said. He nodded toward the driver. The driver held up a sleek envelope. What's this? She frowned. A gift, the man said. From my family, for taking care of my grandfather, for treating him like a person, not like trash. That's not a big deal, she said quickly. Don't hype me up like that. He stepped a little closer, not too close. Just enough to lower his voice. He told me what you did, he said. You could have let him eat leftovers. You didn't. You cooked him a fresh bowl and lied about the 100th customer thing. She blushed. That obvious, huh? My grandpa isn't stupid, he smiled. He just likes believing people are still kind. The assistant in glasses cleared his throat. Miss Lin, he said, our old master insisted. Please accept it. The driver handed her the envelope. She hesitated, then opened it slightly. Her brain short-circuited. Stacks of bank notes, not a few hundred, not a few thousand. Is this like fake movie money or real money? She asked. Real, the assistant said. 1 million. 1 million what? She choked. What kind of noodles did I make? She muttered. Gold ones? The hoodie guy turned business guy watched her carefully. Take it, he said. I know it's sudden and maybe weird, but to my grandfather, dignity costs more than cash. You gave him that last night. This is nothing to us. Nothing, huh? She said. Must be nice. She looked at the envelope again, heart pounding so hard she could hear it. With this, she could buy a better house, get a newer cart, fix her teeth. Pay for Waiu's school for years. The money felt heavy in her hand, but then she looked past the bills, at her tiny apartment, her worn table, her kid watching from behind the door. She drew in a breath. Sorry, she said. She closed the envelope, handed it back. They all froze. Miss Lin, the assistant started. I can't take this, she said. I fed an old man, that's it. This is too much. It feels weird, like I'd owe you something. Like my kindness has a price tag. She shook her head. I'm broke, she said honestly. Broke, but I'm not for sale. I don't want my kid thinking help people. Maybe you'll get a bag of cash. That's not how I want to raise her. The street went quiet. Even the neighbor's TV sounded far away. The man stared at her, like he'd just discovered a new species. Mom, Wai whispered, tugging her sleeve. You sure that's like billionaire level money for us? Yeah, Xiawei said softly. I'm sure, she gave the man a small smile. If your grandpa wants more noodles, I'll feed him anytime, she said, but I can't take this. The assistant looked like his system crashed. The driver didn't know where to look. The man finally took the envelope back. Okay, he said quietly, I respect that. He slipped the envelope into his jacket. Miss Lin, he added, you're different. People keep saying that, she shrugged. Not sure it's a compliment. It is, he said. He stepped back. If you ever need help, he said, any kind of help, remember me. Okay, she said. What's your name then? Noodle guy, almost million guy. He smiled just a little. Just call me Yan Kai, he said. That's enough. Then he turned, walked away, car door closed. Engine started. They drove off like they were never there. Wai stared. Mom, she said slowly. You do realize that was 1 million. Yeah, and you just said no thanks like he offered you extra soy sauce. Yeah, you're wild, Wai muttered. Respect though. Promotion for the wrong man up on the tallest floor of Sheng Group. Secretary Su stood at attention. Boss, he said, about Wu Hao. What about him? Yan Kai asked, dropping into his chair. He's been performing average, Su said carefully. Nothing special, but you asked me to check his profile. He's the husband of Miss Lin. Not husband, Yan Kai said. They never registered. Yes, Su nodded. Still, he's technically her man right now. What do you want to do? Yan Kai thought of the cramped apartment, the bracelet. The way she had refused the money without flinching. She doesn't want charity, he said. Fine, we won't give her charity. He tapped the desk. Promote him, he said. Su blinked. Promote Wu Hao to deputy director of the factory, Yan Kai said. Raise his salary, make it clear it's a special appointment from headquarters. Boss, Su said, confused. He hasn't earned it. Why consider it my thank you, Yan Kai said. Through a path she'll accept. If her family lives better because of her, that's still because of her. He smiled, but his eyes were cold. And I want him under our roof, he added. Where I can watch him, there's something off about that man. Su nodded slowly. Understood, he said. One more thing, Yan Kai said. Keep digging into that year, the hotel, the missing footage. I want the truth, Su. No matter how ugly. Yes, President, Su said. Let's buy a dream. The real estate office smelled like new paint, perfume, and fake promises. Colorful brochures, mini models of buildings behind glass. Salespeople in matching outfits moved like sharks smelling money. This one has a gym. This one has a pool. This one has European style, whatever that means. Xiawei walked in with Wu Hao and Aunt Wu. Wai held her mom's hand tightly. A slim saleswoman approached with a rehearsed smile. Welcome, looking for a new home? Yes, Wu Hao said with new confidence. We want something in the city center, 3 bedrooms. Good school nearby, budget 3 million, he said lightly. The saleswoman's smile turned real. Right this way, sir. They sat at a glass table. Floor-to-ceiling windows showed off other people's lives in the distance. She spread out floor plans. This one just launched, she said. Great sunlight, good layout, high-quality neighbors. High-quality neighbors, Aunt Wu repeated proudly as if she'd always used that phrase. Mom, Wai whispered. Do we count as low quality? Don't roast us in public, Xiawei whispered back. Wu Hao picked a plan. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, he said. Close to my factory, looks good. It's perfect, the saleswoman said. We can reserve it today. I'll pay in full, Xiawei said. All 3 of them turned to her. What? She asked. We have the money ready. I don't want loans hanging over our heads forever. Full payment, the saleswoman breathed. Ma'am, you are a legend. Not really, Xiawei said. Just tired of counting coins. The saleswoman pulled out the contract. Name on the deed? She asked. Xiawei opened her mouth. Wu Hao was faster. Put it under mine, he said. Wu Hao, she paused. Shouldn't it be both of us? She asked. Or at least me. I'm the one paying, no offense. Baby, it's not about offense, Wu Hao said quickly. Look, if the house is under my name, it's easier for the factory to reimburse some subsidies. Also better for my promotion. Men need assets, you know? Aunt Wu jumped in. Yeah, Xiawei, don't be dumb, she said. You're already living with my son, aren't you? Who else would the house belong to? But what if something happens? Xiawei asked carefully. Like what? Aunt Wu scoffed. You think my son's gonna run off with what? His face, the house is for all of us, Wu Hao said, taking Xiawei's hand. You, me, Mom, Wai, we're a family. It just looks better on paper if it's my name, that's all. He squeezed her fingers. And once we get the certificate, he added, your name will be on everything anyway. You don't trust me. That line hit her in the softest spot. It had been 7 years of late nights, 7 years of her saving. 7 years of her wanting that paper. I trust you, she said quietly. Then signed, he said, let me be the man of the house for once. She swallowed, nodded. The saleswoman filled it in. Owner, Wu Hao. Xiawei watched those two words like they were being carved into stone. She ignored the headache forming at the base of her skull. Double happiness. For who, 2 days later, the new apartment was full of people. Balloons, red banners. Plastic flowers on tables. Aunt Wu had invited every relative within 3 subway stops, plus neighbors from the old place, plus random friends who liked free food. This is wild, someone said. Full payment and her man got promoted. Luck is insane. Music blasted from a cheap speaker. Kids ran between chairs, sticky hands, and loud voices. In the center of the living room, Wu Hao stood in a crisp suit, new watch. Hair gelled, beside him, Aunt Wu shined like she personally bought the building. She clinked a spoon against a glass. Everyone, she called. Quiet for a sec, the noise slowly settled. She puffed her chest. Today is double happiness, she said. First, our family finally moved out of that sad little rental. Now we have a big flat in the city, all thanks to my amazing son. Someone clapped, others followed. At the same time, she continued, my son has been recognized by his bosses. The head office of Sheng Group personally promoted him to deputy factory director. His salary is double now, so from today on our family is moving up. More applause. Some folks whistled. In the crowd, Xiawei stood in a simple dress. Not new, but ironed carefully. She looked around, at the walls she had paid for, at the floor she had paid for, at the people cheering for a deed that did not have her name. She forced herself to smile, for Wayu's sake. Near the door, Wayu tugged her sleeve. Mom, she whispered, when are you telling them about the certificate? Later, Xiawei said. When it's just us, that's a private thing. Okay, Wayu nodded. The doorbell rang again. A commotion at the entrance. Oh my God, is that him? Someone gasped. Who? The GM of Radiant Group. Heads turned. Phones came out, quiet as possible but definitely recording. A tall man in an expensive suit walked in. Mr. Liu Zhang, head of Radiant Group, which everyone knew was a major partner of Sheng Group. Behind him walked a woman in a designer dress, perfect hair, perfect makeup, cold, sharp eyes, Liu Zuding. The room hummed with gossip now. Why is he here? Did Wu Hao invite him? Radiant and Sheng are tight. Maybe Wu Hao is more important than we thought. Wu Hao hurried to the door. Mr. Liu, he said, bowing a little, you're here. I'm so honored. You moved, Mr. Liu said. My daughter insisted we come, said we needed to see how the man personally promoted by President Sheng is doing. He patted Wu Hao's shoulder. Not bad, he added. You've got potential. Zuding walked in like she owned the place. She let her gaze slide over the room. Her eyes landed on Xiawei. They flickered, then sharpened. So she's here, that look said. Everyone, Wu Hao announced, voice louder now. Thank you for coming to our housewarming. I'm really grateful. Cheers, he swallowed, looked at Zuding. She gave the smallest nod. His heart pounded. He tapped his glass. Also, he said, there's something else I want to share. Something important. Wayu grabbed her mom's hand. Mom, this is it, she whispered. He's going to talk about you. Xiawei's chest fluttered. 7 years, 7 years, 7 long years. Wu Hao cleared his throat. When I thought my life was going to stay small forever, he said, someone showed up, changed everything, helped me realize I had to hustle harder, move forward, reach higher. He smiled, not at Xiawei, at someone else. She supported me, he went on, believed in me, and now I don't want to fail her. Xiawei's grip tightened on the edge of the table. This house, he said, this promotion, this future, a lot of it is because of her. He lifted his glass. Everyone, he announced, please welcome the real leading lady of my life, my fiancé, Liu Zuding. The room fell silent for a second, like even the air was shocked, then voices exploded. What, fiancé? Not that noodle girl? Xiawei didn't move. Her brain lagged behind the words. Fiancé, leading lady. Zuding, her ears started ringing. Zuding walked forward, linked her arm through Wu Hao's. Thank you all, she said smoothly. I know this is surprising, but love is love, right? Aunt Wu clapped too fast. Yes, she said. Yes, yes, this is the woman my son will marry, beautiful, educated, from a good family. We're so blessed, someone near the back whispered. What about the one who bought the house? SHH, another said. Don't ask for smoke. Wayu's voice came out small. Mom, she breathed. What's going on? Xiawei finally blinked. Her eyes burned, but she smiled. A broken, automatic thing. Guess your mom is just a side quest, she said softly. Not the main story. Compensation for 7 years later, away from the crowd in a small side room, the whispers were louder than the music. Let's not be messy in front of guests, Aunt Wu said. We'll talk here. She stood between Xiawei and the door like a gatekeeper. Zuding sat on the little sofa, her designer bag on the table, legs crossed. Wu Hao paced in front of the window. He couldn't meet Xiawei's eyes. Why? Xiawei asked finally, no shouting, just a tired, heavy question. We don't match anymore, Wu Hao said. Look at me now, look at where I'm going. You're just selling noodles on the street. So now I'm not good enough, she said, but my money was okay, right? That money bought the house for our future, he snapped. It's not all about you. Our future, she said. Whose name is on the deed, Wu Hao? He opened his mouth, closed it. Zuding sighed dramatically. Let's not drag this out, she said. You two were never legally married, so there's no divorce, just a breakup. No big deal. She reached into her bag, pulled out a thick white envelope, placed it on the table. Here, she said, 10,000 cash. Think of it as compensation for the last 7 years. You can start over. Maybe open a bigger stall. Xiawei stared at the envelope. 10,000, she repeated. It's a lot for someone like you, Zuding said. Don't be ungrateful. Slowly, Xiawei stood up. 7 years, she said. I worked until my hands cracked, saved every coin, paid rent, paid bills, raised your kid, bought this house, bought your suit. She looked at Wu Hao, cooked your food, she said, treated your mom like my own, held you when you lost your job. Believed every promise you made. She looked back at the envelope. 10,000, she said quietly. You know what, I could make picking scrap all day, more than that, easy. Without warning, she grabbed the envelope. Threw it straight at Zuding, money spilled everywhere. You think my love, my youth, my health, my future is worth this? She said. You're out of your mind. Aunt Wu gasped. How dare you hit my future daughter-in-law? She screeched. She raised her hand, swung at Xiawei. Before she could land the slap, a tiny body pushed between them. Don't you dare touch my mom, Waiyu shouted, her little arms spread wide in front of Xiawei. You've been yelling at her for years, she said, voice shaking. You don't deserve her, Grandma. Get out of the way, brat, Aunt Wu snapped. You think we want you. If it wasn't for that thing years ago, my son would never. Wu Hao grabbed her arm. Mom, stop talking, he hissed. What thing? Xiawei asked slowly. Nothing, Wu Hao said. She's rambling. Oh yeah, Aunt Wu snapped. Who took money to bring you home back then, huh? Who picked up some girl pregnant with someone else's kid? You think you just happened into our house? The room went cold. Xiawei stared at Wu Hao. What is she talking about? She asked. He wouldn't look at her. Get them out, Zuding said. We've got guests. I don't want drama ruining my party. Aunt Wu pointed at the door. You heard her, she said. This is our house now, bought in my son's name. If anyone's leaving, it's you. I paid for it, Xiawei said. Got proof? Zuding asked sweetly. Got your name on anything? Silence. Security, Aunt Wu shouted. 2 bodyguards from Liu's side stepped in. Strip her and toss her out if she doesn't leave, Aunt Wu said darkly. See how she likes being poor and naked. They took a step forward. Touch my mom and I swear I'll bite you, Waiyu yelled, baring her teeth. Enough, a voice cut through the air. Everyone turned. Standing in the doorway was the noodle guy. Only this time he wasn't soft. He wore a dark suit, expression ice cold. Behind him, Secretary Su held a folder, his face unreadable. Who are you? Aunt Wu demanded. The room went quiet as guests started peeking in curiously. Zuding frowned. Why is he here? The man stepped into the room. Security, he said calmly. If you lay a hand on Miss Lin or her child again, you won't be working for anyone tomorrow. The bodyguards hesitated, looked at each other. Sir, one of them said carefully, this is Mr. Liu's event. We only take orders from. At that moment, Mr. Liu himself appeared behind him. His smile was stiff, too polite. President Sheng, he said, didn't expect to see you here personally. The room collectively gasped. President what? Someone whispered. President Sheng, another hissed. From Sheng Group. That's him. Phones were very definitely recording now. Zuding's face drained of color. Yan Kai, she stammered. You're President Sheng? He didn't even look at her. He turned to Wu Hao instead. Deputy Director, he said, this is how you treat the mother of your child, in a house bought with her blood and sweat. Wu Hao's legs went weak. President Sheng, he said, it's a misunderstanding. She's overreacting. I was going to take care of her. I save it, Yan Kai said. He looked at the mess of cash on the floor, the tear tracks on Xiawei's face. The way she held Waiyu behind her like a shield. In my company, he said softly, we reward people who work hard, not people who use others like ladders. He looked at Secretary Su. Effective today, he said, Wu Hao is suspended. Full investigation into his conduct. If we find any fraud, he's done, permanently. President Sheng, don't be like this, Mr. Liu said carefully. We're all partners here. Surely there's a better way, Mr. Liu, Yan Kai said, finally glancing at him. You can keep your son-in-law if you want, but he won't be associated with Sheng Group if this is his character. We don't need that kind of talent. You could almost hear something snap in the air. Mr. Liu's face twitched. He looked at his daughter, then at Wu Hao. I think we should talk, he said tightly. He turned and walked out, expression dark. Zuding glared at Xiawei. This is your fault, she hissed. You think you've won? She stormed after her father. Aunt Wu stood there, stunned. My son, she whispered. My son's promotion. Should have picked a better son, Waiyu muttered. Yan Kai finally turned to Xiawei. Her eyes met his. Pain, shame. Fury, Miss Lin, he said gently. Are you okay? I'm fine, she said, voice thin. I'm used to it. He looked at the red marks on her wrist where someone had grabbed her earlier. You shouldn't have to be, he said. He glanced around at the crowd. Everyone, show's over, he said. Go home or go eat, but stop staring at someone else's heartbreak like it's free entertainment. People scattered, whispering. In a few minutes, the side room was empty except for them. Well, almost. Grandpa shuffled in from the hall. He'd been dragged there by a worried driver after he tried to climb up to the 5th floor on a mission. When he saw Xiawei and Wayu, his face lit up. "Gourd babies," he exclaimed. "You're here." He looked around at the tense air. "What happened?" he asked. "Who made my granddaughter-in-law cry?" "Grandpa," Yan Kai said quietly. He hadn't told him yet, hadn't said the words out loud. But Grandpa just stared at Xiawei, at the way his grandson stood near her, at the child peeking from behind her. He didn't need anyone to spell it out. "Ah," Grandpa said softly, "so that's how it is." He nodded to himself. "Good," he said. "Good," Yan Kai sighed. Grandpa hobbled over to Xiawei. "Girl," he said kindly, "don't cry over trash. The world is full of fools who don't know what treasure looks like, their loss." "Not yours," she tried to smile, failed. "How am I supposed to live now?" she whispered. "This place, my savings, my time, all gone." "Who said it's gone?" Grandpa said. "If a rat steals your food, you don't starve, you find new food." "Or you hit the rat." "That's a wild analogy, Grandpa," Wayu said, "but kind of facts." Yan Kai took a slow breath. "Miss Lin," he said, "you're not alone in this anymore." She looked at him. "We barely know each other," she said. "I'm not your problem." He shook his head. "You don't get it," he said. "You've been my problem for 7 years." She frowned. "What? Nothing," he said quickly. "We'll talk later." He looked at Secretary Sue. "Get my legal team," he said. "Check the house purchase. If we can prove she put in all the money, we'll fight for her share. I don't care how long it takes." "Yes, President," Sue said. "And arrange a place for them to stay for now," he added. "Somewhere safe. You don't have to," Xiawei began. "I know I don't have to," he said. "I want to." She looked at him for a long second. "Why?" she whispered. He opened his mouth, closed it again. "Because you refused $1 million," he said finally. "And that told me everything I needed to know about you." She laughed once, short, bitter. "Maybe I was stupid," she said. "Maybe you were the only one not playing games," he answered. "And everyone else was stupid." Wayu slid her little hand into his. "Uncle," she said, "are you a good man?" He blinked. "I'm trying," he said honestly. "You better be," she replied. "My mom already wasted 7 years on a clown. We can't do reruns." Grandpa burst out laughing. "This one," he said, pointing at her. "This one's definitely my great-grandkid." Yan Kai stared at them. Mother and daughter standing in a house they paid for, being pushed out by people who never deserved them. He made a silent promise right then. The next place they stood in, no one was kicking them out. Night settled over the city like a blanket someone forgot to wash. Streetlights flickered. Cars honked in the distance. Inside a cheap business hotel room, Xiawei sat on the edge of the bed, hands in her lap, eyes puffy from crying. Next to her, Wayu leaned against her shoulder. "Mom," the girl whispered. "Are we homeless now?" "Not homeless," Xiawei said softly, "just between homes." "That sounds like when a stray dog says he's between owners," Wayu muttered. Xiawei let out a weak laugh. "Then yeah," she said, "we're between owners." A knock sounded on the door. "Who is it?" Xiawei called. "It's me," came the answer. "Yan Kai." She hesitated, then stood up and opened the door. He stood in the hallway, no bodyguards, no assistant. Just a man in a shirt with his sleeves rolled up holding a plastic bag. "Brought food," he said. "Didn't know if you'd eaten." The smell of takeout hit her nose. Fried rice, soup. "Something with chicken," her empty stomach answered before she did. "Come in," she said. They sat at the tiny hotel table, the kind that wobbles if you breathe on it. Wayu inhaled the food like a vacuum. "Slow down," Xiawei said. "You'll choke. I'm speed-running dinner," the girl replied. "We don't waste hotel food time." Yan Kai watched them both. Something in his chest tugged. He'd taken clients to five-star restaurants. Signed deals over $1,000 bottles of wine. But this, two girls sharing takeout in a small hotel room, this felt real. When the food was gone and Wayu started nodding off, he finally spoke. "Miss Lin," he said. "I have a proposal," she stiffened. "If it's about money again," she said. "I already told you." "It's not money," he cut in. "Well, not directly." He glanced at Wayu, now half asleep on the bed, clutching the hotel pillow like it might escape. "We both have situations," he said slowly. "You're a single mom, no house, trying to get a stable job. I'm rich," she said flatly. He sighed. "I'm someone with an old man who's sick and stubborn," he said. "The doctors say if he stays agitated, his condition will get worse, but when he's happy, excited, around family, he improves." "Okay," she said. "What does that have to do with me?" "He likes you," he replied, "and your kid. You calm him down, you make him talk, laugh. I haven't seen him like that in years. So you want us to hang out with him?" "More than that," he said. "He keeps saying he wants a granddaughter-in-law so he can rest easy. He's obsessed." It sounds silly, but his health really is tied up with this. She stared at him. "You can't be serious," she said. "You want me to marry you so your grandpa can vibe?" "Not like that," he said quickly. "Listen. I'm not asking you to throw your life away. I'm talking about a contract." "A contract," she repeated. "1 year," he said. "We register the marriage legally. You and your daughter move in with me and grandpa. We act married in front of him, the family, the world. After a year, if you don't want to stay, we divorce. Clean. I'll make sure you're protected. You won't be left hanging." She just stared. "Why me?" she finally asked. "You could pick literally any woman, some rich girl, some model, someone with zero baggage." He gave a short laugh. You refused $1 million, he said. You'd rather stay broke than feel bought. I can trust someone like that way more than some influencer chasing status. And you, she said, what do you get besides making your grandpa happy? His gaze flicked to Wayu. Maybe, he said quietly, I get a chance to fix a mistake from 7 years ago. She frowned. What mistake? He shook his head. Later, he said, if I'm wrong, it's just me being dumb. You don't need to carry that too. She leaned back. Let me get this straight, she said. I marry a rich stranger for 1 year, move into his place, pretend to be a real family, help his grandpa. Then maybe walk away or stay, he said softly. If you want, I'm not saying you will, just if. She looked at her daughter, at the cracked wallpaper, at the hotel kettle that looked older than she was. She thought about school enrollment forms that needed a father's name, about landlords who raised rent every year, about picking up plates of noodles from cold tables at midnight. Will my kid be safe? She asked. Yes, he said. Without hesitation, she'll be protected by me, by Grandpa, by my entire security team if needed. Will I have to, she gestured vaguely, do wifey duties? His ears turned a little red. This is not that kind of contract, he said quickly. I'm not buying a body, I'm asking for a role. You'll have your own room, your own space, your own independent. Relax, she cut in. I was just testing you, he exhaled. Well, he asked, what do you think? She looked at him for a long time. You're insane, she said finally. I know, he replied. There was a beat of silence. Do you have a local residency? She asked suddenly. Yes, he said. Old family records. Why? If I marry you, she said, will it help with school for my kid? He blinked. Absolutely, he said. That part's easy. She nodded slowly. Okay, she said at last. He stared. Okay as in, she sighed. I'll do it. 1 year contract marriage, but I have conditions. Name them, he said. One, I'm not giving up work, she said. I want a job. Not just stay at home pretending to be a fancy wife. I have my own brain. I design, I cook, I grind. That doesn't stop. Deal, he said. 2, we move into your place, she continued. We have nowhere right now. But I'm not living in some weird kept woman apartment either. If it feels like you're hiding me, I'm out. He winced internally. That was going to be awkward. Deal, he said anyway. 3, if I hate it, she added, we end it. I don't want Grandpa manipulated either. You tell him the truth if it comes to that. He hesitated, then nodded. Deal, he said quietly. 4, she said. Put it in writing. He smiled. Done, he said. My lawyers will cry, but they'll do it. She held out her hand. Pleasure doing business, Mr. Fake Noodle Guy, she said. He took her hand. His grip was warm. Pleasure working with you, Mrs. Future Sheng, he said. Don't get ahead of yourself, she said. We're still in the tutorial level. From the bed, half asleep, Wayu mumbled, Uncle, if you hurt my mom, I'll report you to CEO, whoever that is. Yan Kai chuckled. I'll remember that, he said. The rental that wasn't 2 days later, a black sedan pulled up in front of a gated community in the city center, not the fancy one with fountains and security robots. The rich but trying to act casual kind. Cousin, Wayu whispered from the back seat, is this really a rental? He's not your cousin, Xiawei hissed. He's your mom's business partner. Contract husband, the girl muttered. Same thing, the gates opened. The car rolled in. They stopped in front of a mid-rise building. Subtle, no gold lions or anything. This is it, Yan Kai said. You rent this? Xiawei asked skeptically. A friend gave me a good price, he said smoothly. I share it with my cousin sometimes. The driver struggled not to cough. The security guard at the entrance bowed as they passed. Good afternoon, President. Ahem. Yan Kai shot him a look. The guard instantly corrected himself. Good afternoon, Mr. Tenant, he said. Yes, Yan Kai said, very tenant-like today. Xiawei frowned but let it go. They rode up in a quiet elevator. He opened the door with a swipe card. Inside, the apartment was nice. Not billionaire mansion nice, but definitely not normal I'm just a waiter vibes either. Clean lines, big windows. A kitchen that looked like people actually cooked in it. Wow, Wayu breathed. So this is what mid-level rich looks like, fancy but not flexing. Take your shoes off, Xiawei snapped. Don't embarrass me. She stepped in carefully. You really rent this for $28,000 a month? She asked. Yep, he lied without missing a beat. Friend discount. Your friend a landlord or a mafia boss? She muttered. Grandpa shuffled out from the hallway. He wore a comfy home outfit, holding a TV remote like a scepter. Finally, he said, you're here, my granddaughter-in-law, my great-grandbaby. I've been waiting. Wayu ran over. Grandpa, she yelled. We brought ourselves, he laughed and hugged her. My doctor says I shouldn't get too excited, he said, so let's not tell him about this. Grandpa, don't play, she giggled. Yan Kai watched them. His world had always been numbers. Contracts, market shares, this was different math, family-level math. Later that night, after Grandpa had gone to his room and Wayu had wandered off to explore every drawer in the house, Xiawei stood in the doorway of the guest room. So, she said, I sleep here. For now, he said, you can decorate it how you like. And you, she asked. He pointed to the other bedroom. My room, he said. Door stays closed. I knock before entering yours. You knock before entering mine. Good, she said. We're not accidentally falling into bed because of some drama show trope. He smiled. Don't worry, he said. Real life isn't that dramatic. Sir, she said dryly. My life literally just had a house party betrayal and a CEO crash cameo. It's already a drama. Okay, fair, he admitted. She set her small suitcase down. There wasn't much inside. Some clothes, a few design notebooks. A photo of her and baby Wayu in front of the old house before it was knocked down. You sure your grandpa's okay with this? She asked. I mean, me and my kid just moving in? He insisted, Yan Kai said. He thinks he found you on his own anyway, so he's proud. Found me, she repeated. At the noodle cart, he said. To him, that was destiny, she smiled. Could be worse, she said. At least Destiny likes carbs. That night around midnight, the apartment was quiet. Mostly, there was a knock on her door. Who is it? She asked. It's me, came Grandpa's whisper. I brought something. She opened the door a crack. He held up a set of pajamas, soft cotton, with tiny cartoon dumplings printed on them. These were supposed to be for the granddaughter I never had, he said, but now I do. Oh, Grandpa, she said softly. Tears pricked her eyes again. For me, she asked. For both of you, he corrected. There's a small set for the little one, too. I bought them years ago. Figured heaven was clowning me. Guess it was just saving them. She took the clothes gently. Thank you, she whispered. He patted her hand. Girl, he said, I don't know what my foolish grandson did 7 years ago, but if he hurts you now, I'll hit him with my cane, no hesitation. From the hallway, Yan Kai murmured, I heard that. Good, Grandpa said. You were meant to. Job hunt, take 2 a week later. The noodle stand was gone, not permanently, just in hibernation. Moms, you can't pull the cart from here anyway, Wayu said. We're too far from our old spot. And this neighborhood would charge extra for breathing. I know, Xiawei sighed. That's why I need a job. Didn't Grandpa say you could rest for a bit? Rest, she snorted. Rest doesn't pay school fees. So she dressed in her best hire me, I'm broke but talented outfit. White blouse, black pants, her old portfolio in a worn bag. I'm heading out, she told Yan Kai at the door. He looked up from his laptop. Where to? Job interview, she said. Big hotel downtown. They need servers. I applied online. You're a designer, he said. Why are you applying to be a server? Because designers need to eat too, she said. And until someone pays for my designs, I'll carry plates. He stood up. Text me the address, he said, in case you need help. I'm not a baby, she said. I know, he replied, but the city is full of weirdos. And some of them wear suits. Like you, exactly, she smiled despite herself. Okay, boss, she said, I'll text you. The Minglin Hotel lobby was huge, marble floors polished so bright you could see your regret reflected in them. A woman at the front desk directed her to HR. You're Zia Lin, the HR lady asked. Lin Xiawei, she corrected. Right, you're here for the service staff position? Yes, good. Go change into this, HR said, handing her a uniform. Then deliver the red wine to room 999. VIP guests, don't spill, don't talk unless spoken to. Don't get starstruck. Yes, ma'am, she said. She changed into the uniform. It felt strange, like she'd slipped into someone else's skin. In the mirror, she hardly recognized herself. This is temporary, she told her reflection. Not your endgame. She knocked on the door of room 999. Come in, a man's voice called. She pushed the door open. The room was huge, not a normal guest room, more like a private lounge. Men in suits sat around a table stacked with food. Expensive liquor glowed under soft lights. Among them, she spotted him. Yan Kai. He wore a relaxed expression, but his eyes were razor sharp. Of course he'd be here. Beside him sat 2 other men, big bosses. You could smell the money. She carried the tray forward. Your wine, she said calmly. One of the bosses, older with a big laugh, squinted at her. Hey, he said, aren't you the girl from that video? The one who threw money back at someone? Different person, she said quickly. He laughed. Relax, he said. Sit, have a drink. She's staff, the other man said. Don't cause trouble. Yan Kai watched her. His jaw tightened when the older man gestured for her to come closer. Come on, the older one said. I'll pay you extra, 1 drink, 100. She forced a polite smile. Sorry, sir, she said. I'm here to serve, not to drink. Don't be shy, he insisted, already reaching for another glass. Yan Kai's hand moved, smooth, small. He slid his own glass across the table. Here, he said, I'll drink it. The older man blinked. President Sheng, he said. I was just playing around. Play with someone else, Yan Kai said pleasantly. She's already busy. He tipped the glass back, drained it. Let's talk about business, he added. Unless your real project tonight is harassing waitresses. The room shifted. The older man laughed weakly. All right, he said. Let's focus. So, about that land in the West District, business talk flowed, contracts, percentages. Partnerships, Xiawei stepped back, stayed near the wall, hands steady around the tray. She watched him. This was a different version of the man who ate noodles at her cart. This one was sharp, strategic, dangerous in a boardroom way. And yet when their eyes met once, his gaze softened for a split second. She looked away first. After the meeting, the other bosses left, laughing and shaking hands. She slipped out, heading toward the staff area. Miss Lin, a voice called behind her. She turned. Yan Kai stood there in the hallway. President, she said automatically, then winced. I mean a fake poor man. He smiled a little. You okay? He asked. I'm fine, she said. Almost decked your guest with a wine bottle, but I'm fine. Sorry about that, he said. He can be an idiot sometimes. Rich men always think attention is a gift, she said. Like I should say thank you for being creeped on. I don't, he said quietly. She shrugged. What are you doing here anyway? She asked. I thought you were just a waiter at some hotel, he coughed. Sometimes I moonlight as a CEO, he admitted. She stared. That's not funny, she said. Wait, are you serious? He opened his mouth. Then his phone buzzed. He glanced at it. Gotta go, he said. We'll talk later. He rushed off before she could push it. She watched his back disappear into the elevator. My life is getting weirder by the day, she muttered. Done being looked down on the next morning, her muscles ached. Her feet hurt. Her brain was tired of fake smiles. Hotel job is mid, she told Grandpa over breakfast. He snorted. You're too sharp to be carrying plates, he said. I saw your sketches yesterday. You're wasting talent. You saw my portfolio, she asked. I see everything left on the table, he said. I'm old, not blind. He tapped his chopsticks against his bowl. Girl, he said. Have you thought about designing again? I have, she sighed. But that world is full of people like that Linda designer they worship. Award this, competition that. Who has time? You do, he said. Besides, I know someone in a big company. I could put in a word. I don't want charity, she said. You guys have done enough. Who said it's charity? Grandpa said. You passed the interview, it's because you're good. You fail, then we know you were talking big. She glared. You really talk like that? He laughed. I'm giving you an excuse to show off, he said. Take it or leave it. Later that day, while she was picking vegetables in the kitchen, her phone buzzed. Hello, is this Miss Lin Xiawei? A professional voice asked. Yes, this is HR from Sheng Group, the voice said. You applied for a design position with us a while back, correct? Her heart stopped. I sent in a resume months ago, she said. Didn't think you guys even saw it. We've reviewed your portfolio, HR said. We'd like to invite you for an interview. Can you come tomorrow at 10:30 am? She dropped a carrot. Tomorrow? Yes, if you can't, we can reschedule up to 11 o'clock. After that, the hiring team is busy. I'll be there, she said quickly. I'll definitely be there. She hung up and leaned against the counter. Mom, Wayu poked her head in. You good? You look like you saw a ghost or your ex. I got an interview, Xiawei said, voice shaking. Where? Sheng Group, she whispered. Wayu's eyes went wide. Isn't that where your business partner works? She asked. I think so, Xiawei said. Apparently he's not just a waiter. No kidding, the girl said. His rental has better water pressure than my entire childhood. That night, the apartment buzzed with quiet chaos. Grandpa insisted she try on 3 different outfits. Wayu critiqued them all like a fashion judge. This one makes you look like a tired professor, Wayu said. This one screams, please hire me, I'll work overtime forever, Grandpa added. They finally settled on a clean, simple look, white shirt, smart pants, a soft blazer. You look like a boss, Grandpa said. A broke boss, she replied. A boss is a boss, he shrugged. From the hallway, Yan Kai watched them. He'd heard about the call. Sheng Group, huh? He said. Don't be weird about it, she said. If I pass, I want to pass for real. No cheating, no backdoor. I know, he said. I didn't interfere. Did you know, she asked. About the call? He hesitated. I might have told HR to look at your portfolio again, he admitted. But that's it. The rest is on you, she thought about it. I can live with that, she said. He smiled. Knock them dead tomorrow, he said. Not literally, Wayu added. We need Mom out of jail, not in it. The company, the enemy, and the trap the next day. The lobby of Sheng Group headquarters felt even taller when you walked in as a candidate. Clean, bright. Intimidating, she checked in at the front desk. Design interview, the receptionist confirmed. Yes, take the elevator to 18, turn right, wait by the glass doors. She followed the instructions, clutching her portfolio. I got this, she whispered to herself. It's just drawing, but fancier. On the 18th floor, a group of people in office wear rushed past her. Laughter, the smell of coffee, someone complaining about deadlines. She found the glass doors. Sat on a small bench. After a few minutes, the doors slid open. A woman walked out, tall, gorgeous, designer clothes, that I've never taken the bus in my life energy. Everyone, she said to the team inside, from today I'll be your design lead. I'm Ling Lan, you can call me Linda. The name hit Xiawei like ice water, so this was it, the legend. The woman other designers reposted online with captions like, my idol. Ling Lan turned. Her eyes scanned the hallway. They landed on Xiawei. Well, she said slowly. Fancy seeing you here. You two know each other, one of the staff whispered. You could say that, Xiawei said. In the same way a fox knows the farmer, Ling Lan added. She stepped closer. What are you doing here, noodle girl? She asked under her breath. Here to wipe floors or just deliver packages? I'm here to interview, Xiawei said. For what? Cafeteria staff, designer. Ling Lan laughed. Designer, she repeated. With what resume? Your stall menu? A woman from HR appeared at the door. Miss Lin, right, she said. Your portfolio was interesting. The hiring panel wants to. Hold on, Ling Lan cut in. She's that Lin, HR asked. 7 years off the grid, zero formal work, street vendor, Ling Lan said. You really think she's Sheng Group material? HR faltered. Well, her work is outdated, Ling Lan said smoothly. This company competes globally. We don't hire nostalgia, we hire innovation. She looked Xiawei up and down. You're better off going back to your stall, she said, voice dripping. This isn't your lane, Xiawei exhaled slowly. Look, she said, I took time off to raise a kid. I still practiced, I still learned. I didn't disappear just because LinkedIn thinks I did. All I'm asking for is a fair shot. You scared of competition or what? A couple of junior designers stifled laughs. Ling Lan's eyes flashed. You think you can talk to me like that? She said. I'm your potential manager. Potential, Xiawei said. Not confirmed. HR shifted awkwardly. Miss Ling, she said. The decision's ultimately up to the hiring panel, not just panel manager, same company, Ling Lan said coolly. If I say someone can't integrate with the team, that's a risk to productivity. She looked right at Xiawei. Take your little portfolio, she said quietly, and leave before you embarrass yourself again. For a second, it felt like back at the housewarming party, eyes on her, doors closing. But then she remembered something, Grandpa's words. You're wasting talent, her daughter's words. We can't do reruns. And the way Yan Kai had said, you shouldn't have to be used to this. She straightened. Okay, she said. You don't want me here that bad. Fine. She turned to HR. I appreciate the call, she said. Next time, maybe let my work speak first, then office politics. She walked to the elevator, head high. Behind her, one of the junior designers whispered, honestly, her portfolio was good. Shut up, Ling Lan snapped. The doors closed. In the mirrored elevator wall, Xiawei saw her face. She expected to see defeat. Instead, she saw something else. Anger, focus, a tiny spark of I'm not done yet. Back in the lobby, her phone buzzed. Grandpa, how'd it go? She typed back, got blocked by your star designer. But it's fine, not dying. Another message, unknown number. You left Sheng Group very fast. Want to tell me what happened? She almost rolled her eyes. She didn't have to ask who it was. Your company sucks. A few seconds later, the reply came. Yan Kai, that's fair. Come home, we'll talk. She slipped her phone into her pocket. Home, she murmured, weird word, but it didn't feel wrong, not anymore. She stepped out into the bright city sunlight. Contract marriage or not, rich or broke, loved or betrayed, she wasn't done rewriting her own story yet, not even close. Morning came too early. It always did on days that mattered. Xiawei stood at the mirror, smoothing the collar of her thrift store blazer. Her palms were sweaty, not from an interview this time, from something scarier, school enrollment. Behind her, Wayu sat on the bed, swinging her legs. Mom, why do I need to go to a fancy school? She groaned. I can just learn from YouTube. It's free and there's cartoons. Because, Xiawei said, grabbing a comb, you're not being raised by a tablet. End of story. Head up, she started braiding her daughter's hair, neat, clean, straight part down the middle. You nervous? Wayu asked, studying her mom's face in the mirror. Me, Xiawei scoffed. Not at all. I love bureaucracy. It's my favorite genre. So yes, the girl said, you are nervous. Maybe a little. From the hallway, Grandpa's voice called out, car's ready. Let's go get my great-grandbaby a future. Grandpa, stop yelling, Yan Kai said behind him. The neighbors already think we're running a sitcom. We are, Grandpa replied. They just don't know it's unscripted. Kaihang School, where status matters, Kaihang Primary School sat on top of a small hill, all glass windows and bright colors. From the outside, it looked like a place where kids blossomed. From the inside, well, they were about to find out. In the front office, a man with a shiny nameplate sat behind a desk. Principal Huang, tie too tight, smile too fake. Next, he called. Xiawei stepped forward, holding a folder packed with documents. Hello, Principal, she said politely. I'm here to enroll my daughter. I've got all the paperwork ready. She handed over the folder, birth certificate. Medical records, residency proof, copies of IDs. She'd triple-checked everything the night before. Principal Huang flipped through the pages lazily. What do you do for work? He asked, not looking up. I'm a designer, she said. New hire and her father works from home. Working from home, he snorted. So basically unemployed, she swallowed. He's between projects, she said, but that's not relevant. Our documents, he closed the folder with a soft snap. Sorry, he said, voice suddenly cold. We're full, she blinked. Full, she repeated. But your website said you had open spots. I even called last week. Things change, he said. Maybe try another school, less competitive. Beside her, Wayu tugged her sleeve. Mom, she whispered, this guy's vibe is off. Sir, Xiawei said, keeping her voice calm, we've prepared for this for months. My daughter is 6, 7, Wayu cut in. Okay, 7 and she's registered at this address. We followed your instructions exactly. Why is it suddenly full now? He leaned back in his chair. Because I said so, he replied. You can go. Before she could answer, the office door burst open. High heels, expensive perfume, attitude first, child second. A woman strutted in, dragging a boy behind her who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. Principal Huang, she said, I'm transferring my son. His other school is trash. Put him in class 1A. Oh, Mrs. Wang, the principal practically melted. Of course, of course. Sit, sit. We'll handle everything. He pulled out a blank form, didn't ask for documents, didn't ask anything really. Xiawei said, we were in the middle of wait outside, the principal snapped. Don't you see I'm helping a shareholder's family? Mrs. Wang turned, eyeing Xiawei from head to toe. Oh, she said, this must be one of those public school moms. I'm just a mom, Xiawei replied evenly. Trying to get my kid into school, like you, Mrs. Wang laughed. Do you know how much it costs to get in here? She asked. This isn't some free neighborhood place, this is Kaihang. Not everyone's qualified. Qualified? Xiawei repeated. We have every document you requested. You don't have what I requested, Mrs. Wang said. Status, connections, funding. People like you just drag the school down. Principal Huang cleared his throat. Miss Lin, he said, we have limited resources. Some spots must go to families who contribute to the school. All families contribute, Xiawei said. Some with money, some with time, some with love. Either way, my kid deserves a fair shot. Mrs. Wang rolled her eyes. Oh, please, she said. Principal, you're being too patient. This is a waste of time. You really want this noodle cart energy in a school where my son studies? She stepped closer to Wayu. Listen, little girl, she said, voice sharp. This place isn't for people like you. Go play somewhere else. Wayu's eyes cooled. My mom isn't a noodle cart, she said. She's a person with a real job. What does your mom do? Yell at people for exercise? The boy snorted. Mom, she kinda got you there, he muttered. Mrs. Wang slapped the back of his head. Shut up, she glared at Xiawei. You see how disrespectful your child is? She cried. Terrible upbringing. No wonder they don't want you here. Principal Huang slammed a hand on the desk. Enough, he said. Miss Lin, take your daughter and leave. Kaihang has standards. Something inside Xiawei snapped. She'd been quiet for Wu Hao, quiet for landlords, quiet in courtrooms she couldn't afford. But this, her kid watching her get humiliated, she took a slow breath. No, she said. The room went very still. What did you say? The principal demanded. I said no, she repeated. We did nothing wrong. We applied early. We followed every rule. My daughter is already in your system. We're not leaving because you suddenly decided we're not fancy enough. He stood up. If you won't leave, I'll have security escort you out, he warned. Mrs. Wang smirked. Do it, she said. These people need to learn their place. She stepped forward, pushed Wayu's shoulder. Move, brat, Wayu stumbled, hit the desk. Hey, Xiawei snapped, grabbing her child. That's enough, she said, voice low. You don't touch my kid. Ever? Mrs. Wang scoffed. What are you gonna do? She sneered. Sue me. With what lawyer? With what money? Depends, Xiawei shot back. Do you want your little meltdown on camera too? She held up her phone, red recording light on. Mrs. Wang paled. You're recording me? Yup, Wayu said from below. Say hi to the internet. Principal Huang lunged for the phone. Give that here. He grabbed at Xiawei's arm. Reflex took over. She pulled her arm back and shoved him away. He tripped over a chair, fell backwards, hit his elbow on the cabinet. He howled like she'd stabbed him. How dare you assault me? He screamed. I'm calling the police. Security, he mashed a button on his desk. Outside, a buzzer blared. Wayu clutched her mom's hand. Mom, she whispered, are we in trouble? Not if I can help it, Xiawei muttered. She grabbed her phone, scrolled fast, and hit a number she'd hoped she wouldn't need. It rang once. He picked up immediately. Hey, Yan Kai's voice came through. You okay? Your favorite school, she said tightly. Just tried to bounce your unemployed wife and pushed your kid. Still want to play humble, Mr. CEO? There was a brief pause. I'll be there, he said. Don't move. You really want to do this here. 5 minutes later, just as 2 security guards showed up, the sound of tires screeching outside made everyone jump. The guards paused, the office door flew open. In walked a man in a simple shirt and dark jeans. He looked like somebody's chill coworker, not threatening, not loud. Behind him, though, came a different energy. A black sedan still idled at the gate, drivers, assistants on phones, and trailing him slightly out of breath was Grandpa. Oh, we're doing this today, Grandpa muttered. Nice. Who are you? Principal Huang demanded. Parents aren't allowed to just barge in like this. The receptionist rushed to his side, whispering frantically. That's Mr. Sheng, she hissed, from the foundation, the one who donated 20 million last year. The one whose name is on the science building. Mrs. Wang's face drained of color. Mr. Sheng, she repeated. From the Sheng group, Grandpa stepped in first, cane tapping the floor. What's all the yelling? He asked. This is supposed to be a school, not a fish market. His gaze found Wayu first. The little girl ran over. Great-grandpa, she cried, throwing her arms around him. The principal said we can't study here because we're broke. Grandpa's eyes froze for half a second, then he smiled. Oh, he said softly. Is that so? He patted her hair. Go stand with your mom, baby. Let Grandpa handle the clowns. Yan Kai moved beside Xiawei. You okay? He asked quietly. I'm fine, she said. He's not. He grabbed me, and she pointed at Mrs. Wang. She shoved our kid, Mrs. Wang sputtered. That's not what happened, she said. I just touched her shoulder lightly. She's exaggerating. And you refused their enrollment? Yan Kai asked the principal. Even though they had all the documents. Huang swallowed hard. I was following our criteria, he stammered. We prioritize families who can support the school. Financially? Yan Kai asked. Well, among other factors, you mean status, Xiawei cut in. They let their friend's kid in without a single paper, but we were full 5 minutes earlier. The principal shot her a look. I won't be disrespected in my own office, he snapped. Mr. Sheng, you don't know the whole situation. Yan Kai smiled. That was never a good sign. You're right, he said calmly. I don't know the whole thing. Let's fix that. He turned to the receptionist. Get the CCTV from the front office for the last 20 minutes, he said, and the audio, forward it to my assistant. Why, yes, sir. He turned back to the principal. Side note, he added casually, you should probably know who you just called broke. Mrs. Wang stepped forward, smile suddenly sugary sweet. Mr. Sheng, she simpered. If I'd known this child was related to you, to be clear, he said flatly, I didn't say she was related to me. I said she's family. There's a difference. One is DNA, the other is choice. Grandpa coughed. Kid, he muttered, you're getting dramatic again. Runs in the blood, Yan Kai shot back. He faced the principal again. Here's what's going to happen, he said, voice level. 1, you will accept my daughter's enrollment immediately. 2, you will apologize to her mother and to her. 3, you will stop treating this school like your personal social club. Your daughter, the principal echoed weakly. Yan Kai slid an arm lightly behind Wayu. Yep, he said, this one. Smartest investor I know, already called me out on lying twice this week. And if I don't, the principal asked, last bit of pride flaring. Grandpa tapped his cane. Then we stop funding your shiny new labs, he said. And that nice indoor stadium, and maybe the scholarship program too. Let's see how your board likes that. Mrs. Wang blanched. Mr. Sheng, you can't be serious, she said. Our kids study here too. Your kid will be fine anywhere, Grandpa cut in. He'll be okay if you stop yelling at people for 5 minutes. The principal folded. His job depended on rich people being happy. And right now they weren't. I apologize, he muttered. Louder, Grandpa said. We're not ghosts. I apologize, he repeated, looking at Xiawei and Wayu. I was wrong. Miss Lin, your daughter's enrollment will be processed today. Wayu tilted her head. Apologize to my mom too, she said. With your eyes, not just your mouth, otherwise it doesn't count. The principal forced himself to meet Xiawei's gaze. I'm sorry, he said again, for my behavior. I judged you without reason. She nodded once. I'm not asking you to treat us like royalty, she said. Just like humans, that's all. Mrs. Wang tried again. Mr. Sheng, this was just a misunderstanding, she said. Surely we can. We can also review all past admissions and see how many misunderstandings look exactly like this, Yan Kai said. Your husband's still on the shareholder list, Mrs. Wang, she froze. Think very carefully, Grandpa added, about how much you like those dividends. She shut up for once. Outside the office, as they walked down the hall, Wayu squeezed both adults' hands, one in each hand like she was plugging into their power. Dad, she said, grinning up at him, today you were kinda cool. Not gonna lie, kinda, he repeated. Only kinda, don't let it go to your head, dudes, she said. You still lied about the whole waiter thing. Grandpa laughed so hard he almost dropped his cane. Bus stop chaos and 3 little fighters a few days later. After the school chaos settled and uniforms were ordered, life almost slipped into something like normal. Almost. One afternoon, Xiawei picked up Wayu from school and decided to take the bus home. No driver today? Her daughter asked as they waited at the stop. He offered, she said, but you should know how to ride a bus too. We're not raising you to be allergic to public transport. Fine, Wayu said, but if someone steps on my shoes, I'm suing. The bus arrived with a squeal of brakes, crowded, loud, people elbow to elbow. They squeezed in near the middle. As the bus pulled away, a trio of kids hopped on at the next stop. They looked about 9 or 10, wearing matching slightly too big jackets, hair cropped short, backpacks that had seen better days. They moved together. Like they were used to reading each other's minds. The driver frowned. Hey, you 3, he called. You pay or what? This isn't a charity. The tallest boy patted his pockets. He said. Mister, can we pay when we get off? Our money kinda left us. Left you? The driver scoffed. What, your money packed a suitcase and moved out? The smallest of the trio whispered. Told you we should have brought the envelope. The middle one stepped forward. Sir, he said politely, if you let us ride when we grow up, we'll repay you with interest. Someone at the front snorted. Listen to this kid, a man laughed, talking like a little CEO. Get off if you don't have money, another passenger snapped. We're already packed in here. The tallest boy clenched his jaw. We need to get to the city center, he said. We're looking for our mom. The bus went quieter than it should have. Where are your parents? A woman asked. You runaways, they're not runaways, Wayu suddenly piped up from the middle. She was standing on her seat now, of course, everyone turned. These are obviously main characters, she declared. Look at their dramatic entrance. Sit down, Xiawei hissed, pulling her gently. You'll fall. She looked at the three boys again. There was something strange, something familiar. The way the smallest one scrunched his nose when he was trying not to cry. The way the middle one stood like he was shielding his brothers. The way the oldest scanned the crowd, calm but ready to throw hands. The driver was losing patience. If you three don't pay, he snapped, I'm stopping this bus right now. Out, the oldest boy straightened. Fine, he said, we'll get off, there will be other chances. He grabbed his brother's sleeves. Let's go, he muttered. As they moved toward the door, the bus lurched. The little one stumbled. Before he could fall, Xiawei reached out and grabbed his arm. Easy there, champ, she said. He looked up at her. Big, round eyes, too familiar. Her chest tightened. Wait, she told the driver. I'll pay for them. The driver grunted. You sure? He asked. 3 extra, they're not small. I got it, she said. How much? She paid for 3 more tickets with what little cash she had left in her wallet. Thank you, Auntie, the youngest boy beamed. You're a real one, the middle one elbowed him. You can't just call people Auntie, he hissed. She's not that old. The oldest boy bowed slightly. Thank you, ma'am, he said. We won't forget, Wayu tugged his sleeve. You guys looking for your mom? She asked. He nodded. Yeah, he said. We came down from the mountain. The mountain, she repeated. Like monks, kind of, the middle one answered. Our master raised us, taught us stuff, said when we were ready we should go find our family. Dang, Wayu said. Real life kung fu or just vibes? We can fight, the littlest said proudly. I can break a board with my hand. Bro, the oldest muttered, don't flex on the bus. Wayu leaned closer. What's your mom's name? She whispered. The three looked at each other. Lin, the oldest said finally. Our master said our last name is Lin. He said our mom's name is Xiawei. The bus might as well have slammed on its brakes again. The world blurred around Xiawei. Her ears rang. She grabbed the back of the seat. Mom, Wayu asked softly. Hey, you good? Xiawei forced herself to breathe. Lin Xia. Wei, there were a lot of Lins in the world, plenty of Weis too, but combined like that, her throat closed. What else did your master say? She asked, voice hoarse. The middle boy pulled out a crumpled piece of paper. This, he said. He said if we ever got lost, show people this. On the paper was a drawing, childish messy. 4 little figures holding hands. Someone had written, Mom, Dad, Big Bro, Little Sis. Xiawei stared. It looked exactly like the doodles she used to draw when she was pregnant, hoping, dreaming. Imagining a future that had vanished in one bloody, panicked night, her hands shook. Mom, Wayu whispered again. Why are you crying? She touched her own cheek. Tears, when had they started, she swallowed. What are your names? She asked. The tallest lifted his chin. I'm Zhai, he said. Our master calls me Big Treasure, but that's embarrassing, so please don't. The middle waved. I'm Shan, he said. Second treasure, don't laugh. The smallest grinned all teeth. I'm Jin, he said. Third treasure, but my brothers call me Chaos. Because he is, Zhai muttered. Treasure, 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 that's what she had called them in her head, back then, when there were 4 tiny heartbeats, not just one. Her vision blurred again. They look like me, don't they? Wayu whispered, climbing into her lap. Like if you hit copy-paste 3 times. Yeah, Xiawei choked out. They kind of do. A full house that night, the apartment felt too small, and somehow just right. 4 kids' shoes piled up at the door, 3 backpacks tossed in a corner, voices bouncing off the walls. Grandpa stood in the living room doorway, hands on his hips. So, he said slowly, taking it all in, we invited an army. It's not an army, Wayu said. It's a squad. Same thing, Grandpa muttered. But his eyes were suspiciously shiny. The boys sat on the couch, back straight. They'd refused to relax until they understood whether they'd be kicked out. You're staying the night, Xiawei said firmly. No arguments, you're kids, not stray cats. Cats have 9 lives, Jin said. We only have 1. Exactly why you're staying, she replied. Yan Kai walked in from the hallway, still loosening his tie. He stopped, looked at the couch, counted. 1, 2, 3, he blinked at Wayu standing next to them. 4, he finished. Oh, he said, we're doing the expansion pack already. Wayu pointed at the boys. Meet your potential sons, she said. Refunds not accepted. The boys stared at him. Zhai hesitated. Uncle, no, I'm Wi-Fi, Yan Kai said. Uncle is my stage name. Jin squinted. Mom, are we sure this is our dad? He whispered. He sounds broken, still running system updates, Grandpa murmured. Yan Kai stepped closer, studying them. Now that they were all under the same light, the resemblance was undeniable. The way Zhai's eyes narrowed when he was thinking. The little downturn in Shan's mouth when he worried. The way Jin's whole face lit up when something amused him. He saw himself in flashes, and he saw her. Where did you find them? He asked quietly. On a bus, she said. No tickets. No money, looking for their mom, he exhaled. Of course, he muttered. Of course it's a bus. Grandpa clapped his hands once. All right, he said loudly. Enough staring, they're kids, not museum pieces. Have you eaten? Master packed us buns, Shen said quickly. We're fine. Buns are not dinner, Grandpa snapped. This is my great-granddaughter's house. We don't starve guests, he called toward the kitchen. Order takeout, he shouted. Something big enough to feed a dojo. Grandpa, Yan Kai said, we can cook. Tonight we celebrate, Grandpa insisted. Tomorrow you can pretend to be poor again. For now, I want meat on the table. Later, after 4 kids had demolished enough food to scare the delivery guy, they washed up one by one. The bathroom became a war zone. Stop splashing, give me the soap. Who used all the hot water? Why is there a noodle in the sink? Jin came running out with a towel over his head, slipping on the floor. Mom, he yelled. He stopped, realized what he'd said. Went bright red. I mean Miss Lin, he corrected. Sorry, slipped, she smiled. Mom works, she said softly. If you want it to. He stared at her. His lower lip wobbled. Then he barreled into her, hugging her waist. I wanted to say that my whole life, he mumbled into her shirt. I just didn't know who you were. She stroked his damp hair. I didn't know how to find you, she whispered back. I thought, she didn't finish the sentence. Thought you were gone, thought the river took you. She didn't need to say it. He hugged her tighter. From the hallway, Zhai and Shan watched quietly. Yo, Waiyu said, wiping her face with her own towel. Group hug, idiots. They all crashed into each other. Too many elbows, too many knees, just enough heart. That night, as the apartment finally quieted, Xiawei stood in her room, looking at the 4 small shapes sleeping on mattresses on the floor. They'd insisted, we slept on harder things at the temple, Zhai had said. This is like cloud mode. She pulled the blanket over Jin again. He kicked it off even in his sleep. Chaos, she murmured. Behind her, she heard the door creak. Yan Kai stood there, leaning against the frame. You okay? He asked. No, she said. Yes, I don't know, my emotions are doing parkour. He nodded. Same, he said. Grandpa's pretending he's tired, but I saw him take like 50 photos already. She let out a shaky laugh. They really yours? She asked gently. He didn't even hesitate. Yes, he said. Unless the universe cloned me for fun, she nodded. I want proof, she said. Real proof, DNA, not vibes. You'll get it, he said. Already called the lab. She looked back at the sleeping kids. What happens when the dust settles? She whispered. We can barely keep up with one. Now we have 4. We still haven't fully dealt with Wu Hao or her. She didn't need to say the name. Ling Lan, that chapter was still open, bleeding. He stepped closer. We'll deal with them, he said. But this time not alone, not you alone, not me alone. We finish this together. Big words, she said. Big family, he replied. She glanced at him. You still planning to keep pretending you're poor? She asked. Because it's getting harder to sell that. He rubbed the back of his neck. About that, he began. She held up a hand. Not tonight, she interrupted. Tonight I just want to look at my 4 kids and pretend the world isn't insane. He softened. Okay, he said. We'll leave the drama for tomorrow. He turned to go. Hey, she called softly. He looked back. Thank you, she said. For showing up at the school, for not letting them talk down to us. He shrugged lightly. Wasn't doing you a favor, he said, just correcting something that's been broken for a long time. That still counts, she said. He smiled. Good night, Mrs. Contract, he said. Good night, Mr. Pretend Poor. Ling Lan's next move across the city, another house, was anything but peaceful. Ling Lan sat in front of her vanity, makeup perfect, eyes not. Her phone buzzed. Wu Hao, you still want her away from Sheng Group or not? She stared at the screen, then typed back. I want her gone, from the company, from his life, from the city if possible. A reply came quickly. Then double the price. You offering me pocket change for a 7-year gig. Her jaw clenched. 7 years of her money, her scheming, her waiting. And still, Yan Kai had thrown her out like she was just some annoying ad. She typed again, half now. Half when she's back under my control. Make sure she can't stay at Sheng Group. This time, a voice message came back. She pressed play. Wu Hao's lazy drawl filled the room. Relax, he said. I'll handle it. I know all her weak spots. You just sit there and look pretty. That's your specialty, right? She tossed the phone onto the table, her specialty. Right, funny how a man with no spine could talk like that, but she needed him. He knew too much. He knew the exact night everything changed. She looked at herself in the mirror. Lin Xiawei, she muttered. You really think you're the main character now? Running around with my CEO, my promotion, my life? She smiled. It didn't reach her eyes. Enjoy it while it lasts, she said to her own reflection. I'm not done. DNA, destiny, and another reveal coming 2 days later. The family stood in a bright, sterile room at a private clinic. The kids fidgeted. Do we really have to give blood? Jin whined. Can't they just look at our faces and be like, yeah, that's them? That's not how science works, champ, Zhai said. And you're not scared of needles. I'm not scared, he said quickly. I just don't like them. There's a difference. Big man, Waiyu teased. Big mouth, he shot back. The nurse smiled politely. You 4 are brave, she said. Most grown-ups complain more. Grandpa sat in the corner, watching like it was a movie. On his knee, a folder sat open. Inside were old hospital records, ultrasound images, notes from doctors, 4 heartbeats. He'd kept them. All this time, sir? The nurse asked. You don't need to be here for the draw. I watched them take their first steps, he lied. I can handle a few needles. He hadn't watched their first steps, that burned, he was here for this. When they left the clinic, the kids immediately started lobbying for snacks. We bled for you, Jin said. That's at least worth bubble tea. It was like 3 drops, Zhai said. 3 drops of my soul, Jin insisted. Milk tea or I riot. Bubble tea, Grandpa decided. Call it an investment in happiness. As they waited for the results, life tried to go on. Xiawei started work again, not at the hotel this time. Thanks to Grandpa's quiet phone calls and a few managers who'd actually looked at her work, Sheng Group's design department confirmed her hiring officially, over Ling Lan's loud objections. She's not qualified, Ling protested in a meeting. She hasn't worked officially in years. The clients like her designs, the department head replied. Frankly, they're more grounded than some of your stuff. Not everything needs 10 feathers and a tragic backstory, Linda. The room snickered, her eye twitched. She was used to being the only star. Now she had to share the sky, not happening. One evening, while Xiawei was sketching at the dining table and the kids were arguing about whose turn it was to wash dishes, her phone rang again. Unknown number, she frowned, answered. Hello, Miss Lin, a calm voice, professional. This is the clinic, your test results are ready. Her heart climbed up into her throat. Oh, she said. Already? Yes, the voice said. We can email you, but given the nature of the test, we usually prefer you collect them in person. She glanced toward the living room. Yan Kai was on the floor helping Jin build a lopsided Lego tower. Wei and Shan were drawing. Zhai was reading something Grandpa had given him about stocks. She swallowed. We'll come by tomorrow morning, she said. Thank you. When she hung up, she didn't move. You'd think she already knew the answer. Her heart did, but paper made things real. Yan Kai noticed her silence. Everything okay? He asked, sitting up. Lab called, she said. Results are in. The kids went quiet too. Does that mean, Zhai began? It means, Grandpa said from the armchair, that tomorrow we stop guessing and start knowing. He looked older than usual and younger at the same time. Whatever the paper says, he told them, just remember, family isn't only blood, but having both, that's a blessing. Don't throw it away. That night, as everyone drifted off one by one, Xiawei lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Contract marriage, fake poverty, 4 kids, 1 furious ex, 1 scheming ex-fiancé. Her life had gone from quiet struggle to primetime drama in record time. But as crazy as it was this time, she wasn't standing in the cold with suitcases and nowhere to go. She had a home, a grumpy, stubborn, secretly soft grandpa, a man who had lied about his job, yes, but stood up when it mattered. And 4 kids who could probably fight off a small gang if needed. She exhaled. Okay, she whispered to herself. Whatever comes next, we face it. Her phone buzzed one last time, a text from an unknown number. We need to talk. About 7 years ago and about your missing 3. It was unsigned, but she knew exactly who had sent it. Ling Lan, drama round 2 was loading. Morning at the clinic felt louder than it should, not because anyone was yelling. Just because everyone was thinking too loud. 4 kids, 1 mom, 1 man who'd been pretending to be just a waiter. 1 grandpa who looked calm but had a death grip on his cane. The nurse walked in holding a thin envelope. Mr. Sheng, Miss Lin, she said, your paternity results are ready. Jin leaned over to Zhai. Do you think if it says no match, I get to pick a richer dad? He whispered. Zhai elbowed him. Dude. Read the room. The nurse held out the envelope. Do you want to open it here? She asked, or take it home? Open it, Grandpa said. If I drop dead from the shock, at least we're near doctors. That's not funny, Xiawei muttered. She took the envelope. Her fingers shook. Do you want me to? Yan Kai started. No, she cut in. I need to do this. She slid a finger under the seal, pulled out the papers, white pages, black words. Her eyes skimmed the numbers. The terms, probability of paternity, match, index, her breath caught. She read it again and again just to make sure her brain wasn't glitching. Well, Jin blurted. Is he our discount dad or premium dad? She laughed, a sharp, shaky sound. Premium, she said, 100%. She handed the paper to Grandpa. He put on his glasses, squinted, then exhaled. All 4? He asked. All 4, she said. The room blurred for a second, not from tears. From relief so big it almost knocked her over. 7 years of not knowing. 7 years of thinking 3 heartbeats were gone forever. Now they were right here. 1 stealing candy from her bag, 1 pretending not to be emotional. 1 trying to look cool and failing, and her girl right in the middle of them like she'd been waiting for backup this whole time. Yan Kai took the paper next. He read it quietly. His jaw worked once, twice. Then he folded the page carefully, like it was made of glass. You 4, he said, looking at the kids, you're officially stuck with me. Officially, Jin said. So before this we were on the free trial? Shan smacked the back of his head. Show some respect, he hissed. Wei grinned. So you really are my dad, she said. I mean, I knew, but now science knows too. She stepped forward and wrapped her arms around his waist. He froze for half a second, then hugged her back. Tighter than he meant to, Zhai and Shan moved in next. Jin squeezed himself into the mess of limbs. Grandpa watched. For a moment his face crumpled. He turned away. Old man, Yan Kai called softly. You getting soft? He sniffed. Dust in my eye, Grandpa said, and 4 grandsons blocking the air. Hey, Wyu protested. Granddaughter first. Right, he corrected. 1 granddaughter, 3 backup bodyguards. My estate better be ready. A text you do not ignore on the ride home. The vibe was lighter. The kids argued about who looked most like who. I definitely got Mom's nose, Jin said, and Dad's brain. Which is a problem. Excuse you, Yan Kai said. My brain built an empire. With how many assistants? Jin shot back. Grandpa cackled, but in the back seat, Xiawei wasn't fully in happy ending mode. Ling Lan's text still sat on her phone. We need to talk about 7 years ago and about your missing 3. She stared at it again. Her thumb hovered. Block, reply, ignore. She chose reply. Location. Time, the answer came almost instantly. Tonight, 8 p.m., Greenfield Hotel rooftop where it started. She exhaled slowly. Of course she picked that place, trauma on the top floor. Cute. Next to her, Yan Kai glanced over. Who is it? He asked. Your past mistake, she said, inviting me to a rooftop. Lan, he guessed. She nodded. She wants to talk about that night, she said, and about what actually happened to the kids. He tightened his grip on the steering wheel. You're not going alone, he said. Never said I would, she replied, but I am going. I've been running from that night for 7 years. I'm done. Greenfield Hotel, same building, different woman. The Greenfield Hotel hadn't changed much. Still too fancy. Still smelled like money and stress. The rooftop restaurant was quieter at night. City lights flickered below like pixels. Xiawei stood near the railing, wind tugging at her hair. She wore a simple black dress, nothing expensive, just clean, sharp lines. She wasn't the same scared girl from 7 years ago. No more shaking hands, no more hoping someone picked her. Now she'd survived being poor, pregnant, abandoned, and lied to. She wasn't fragile. She was tired. That was different. Footsteps clicked behind her. You came, Ling Lan said. Her hair was perfect, dress expensive, smile sweet, eyes lethal. I said I would, Xiawei replied. Let's skip the fake small talk. Ling chuckled. You've changed, she said. Back then you would have apologized first. Back then I thought people like you were out of my league, Xiawei said. Now I know you're just loud. Ling walked closer. So, she said, you found 3 little shadows. Impressive. I was sure the river would take them. She said it too casually. Xiawei's stomach dropped. What did you do? She asked quietly. That night, after I woke up and they told me my babies were gone. What did you do exactly? Ling rolled her eyes. Oh, please, she said. Don't make that face. You think I personally threw anyone anywhere? I hired people. That's what rich people do. We outsource. You tried to get rid of newborns, Xiawei whispered, horrified. Tried, Ling said. Keyword tried, and clearly they didn't do a very good job. Those 3 brats have way too much plot armor, she sighed. Look, she said, I liked Yan Kai first. I was the one positioned to be Mrs. Sheng. You were just the wrong girl in the wrong room. Wrong or drugged? Xiawei shot back. Ling smirked. Little bit of both, she said. I needed him drunk enough to not notice. Then those idiots mixed up room numbers. You stumbled in instead. She shrugged like she was explaining a mix-up at a restaurant. Stuff happens, she said. You were supposed to vanish after that. 2 million was generous. 2 million you gave Wu Hao, Xiawei said, the puzzle snapping together. To keep me away, to shut me up, to let you keep playing fiancé. Ling's smile flickered. You weren't supposed to matter, she hissed. You were just a footnote, some random girl, but then you got pregnant. 4 kids, seriously, you couldn't just be normal. I didn't do it on purpose, Xiawei said. It's not like I ordered a family pack. And then, Ling continued, you didn't die like you were supposed to. Somehow the kids didn't either. She laughed once, bitter. Do you know what it's like, she said, to build a whole life on a plan and then watch it fall apart because he can't stop staring at a noodle vendor? Xiawei's hands curled into fists. So you tried again, she said slowly. The school, the kidnapping, you really thought hurting my kid would make him come back to you? Ling's eyes went flat. I thought, she said, that if I took away the things that distracted him, he'd remember who he was supposed to marry. You're insane, Xiawei said. Maybe, Ling replied, but at least I'm honest about it. And the traffickers, Xiawei pressed. The river, the 3 boys, Ling rolled her eyes. Relax, she said. Clearly they lived. Master Shaolin or whatever saved them. You got your happy ending. Why are you still mad? Because you tried to erase them, Xiawei said. Her voice shook now, but from rage. You decided my kids' lives were disposable. You decided I was disposable, Ling shrugged. Rich people make problems go away, she said. I was just playing my part. Not anymore, a new voice cut in. Both women turned. Yan Kai stepped out from the shadows near the stairwell. He wasn't alone. A couple of men in suits stood behind him, and further back, barely visible, 2 officers in plain clothes lingered. Ling paled. You were listening? She asked. Every word, he said. Thanks for the confession, by the way. That saves us time in court, she laughed weakly. You don't have the guts, she said. You feel guilty about me, about how you used me. You won't send me to jail. He looked at her, really looked. You're right, he said quietly. I did feel guilty for a long time, thought I owed you something. That's why I gave you money. That's why I kept you out of trouble when I shouldn't have. He took one step closer. But guilt doesn't cover attempted murder, he said. And it doesn't cancel out what you did to Xiawei or my kids. Ling backed up. You won't do it, she repeated. You're too soft. Grandpa appeared at the stairs too, leaning on his cane. Oh, he's soft, Grandpa said. But I'm not, he walked up to her. Kid, he said, you messed with my great-grandkids. I'll spend my retirement sitting in court if I have to. I've got time. The plainclothes officers moved in. Miss Ling, one said, we'd like you to come with us. We have some questions about an incident 7 years ago and a kidnapping last week. She snapped. You think you can scare me with cops, she shouted. I know judges. I know people way bigger than. Her phone buzzed. She glanced down. New message from an unknown number. We're out, job failed, taking your money and bouncing, don't contact us. Her face drained. No, she whispered. The officers took her by the arms. She twisted, but they held firm. You can't prove anything, she yelled. Actually, the other officer said calmly, we have your old bank transfers, and now your lovely rooftop speech. Plus 3 living witnesses from Shaolin and one very angry grandfather. Grandpa smiled. Say cheese, he told her. As they led her away, she spat one last sentence at Xiawei. You'll regret this, she screamed. You don't belong in his world, Xiawei exhaled. Too bad, she said softly. I'm not leaving. Wu Hao's last bad idea, if the story ended there, it would have been neat, too neat. Unfortunately, Wu Hao wasn't done embarrassing himself. Later that week, while the family was still juggling school, work, and court statements, he made his move. Again, it started on a normal afternoon. Xiawei had just finished a long meeting at Sheng Group. She walked out of the building, rubbing her temples. Her phone buzzed, a video call from an unknown account. She almost ignored it, then an instinct told her to pick up. The screen went black for a second, then showed a warehouse, concrete floor, metal beams, in the middle tied to chairs with rope that looked way too tight were her 3 boys. Zhai, Shan, Jin, bruised but awake, trying to look tougher than they were. Mom, Jin shouted, don't freak out, we're fine for now. Someone smacked the camera. Shut up, a voice growled off screen. Wu Hao stepped into frame. He looked worse than before, eyes bloodshot, jaw clenched too tight. Hi Xiawei, he said, long time no proper chat. Her blood ran cold. What are you doing, she said. Her voice was surprisingly steady. Let them go. Can't, he said. I'm in a bit of a situation. Your new hubby torched all my connections. Bank accounts frozen. Jobs gone. House might as well be gone too. I figured you owe me. I owe you, she repeated, disbelief in her tone. For what? 7 years of lies. Using my money to buy a house and then handing it to your mistress? He shrugged. You lived there too, he said. Free rent is still rent. She wanted to reach through the screen and slap him. What do you want? She asked instead. Simple, he said, cash, an escape route, and some leverage. You might not care about me anymore, but you definitely care about them. He gestured at the boys. Don't worry, he added. I'm not as crazy as Ling. I'm not gonna toss kids in rivers. As long as I get what I want, they'll walk out of here. Behind him, Zhai rolled his eyes. This is so lame, he muttered. Yeah, Shan said. If you're gonna be a villain, at least be original. Can you 2 stop roasting the kidnapper? Jin hissed. He has a metal pipe. Wu Hao leaned closer to the camera. You come alone, he said. No husbands, no cops, no grandpa. You bring 30 million in cash and a car with a full tank. Or, he tapped the metal pipe on the ground. Things get ugly, he finished. You don't threaten a family like that. What he didn't know? She'd put the call on speaker, in the car, where 3 other people were sitting. Yan Kai in the driver's seat, Grandpa in the back, and Waiyu wedged between them with wide eyes. I told you he'd do something dumb, she muttered. 30 million, Grandpa scoffed. Kid thinks we print money in the basement. We kind of do, Jin would have said if he were there. Yan Kai's eyes were cold. Where's the location? He asked. The camera swung around briefly as one of the boys accidentally jerked his chair. On the far wall, half-torn, was a sign, a faded logo, 3 characters from an old factory name she remembered from local news. That's the abandoned freight warehouse near the river, she said. Out by the old bridge. You recognize that faster than I did, Grandpa said. I used to pick up scrap there, she reminded him. We had different lives before your driver. Fair, he admitted. Yan Kai pulled the car into a side street and parked. No cops, she said quietly. He'll freak and hurt them. We're not going in blind, Yan replied. At least let me send Sue to block the roads nearby. That's fine, Grandpa said. Let the police lag 5 minutes behind. By then I'll have hit someone. Waiyu's eyes flashed. I'm coming, she said. Nope, 3 adults said at once. Absolutely not, Xiawei said. You're staying with Grandpa's driver. She turned to Grandpa. Watch her, she said softly. No heroic adventures. Grandpa nodded. I'll handcuff her to the seat if I have to, he promised. You can try, Waiyu muttered. The warehouse and the rematch. The warehouse smelled like rust and old oil. Xiawei stepped inside alone. Jeans, hoodie, no jewelry, hands empty. Right on time, Wu Hao called from the shadows. Where's my money? Where are my sons? She shot back. He stepped forward. Behind him, the three boys were now tied to a steel beam instead of chairs. They looked more annoyed than scared. Mom, Zhai said, this guy talks a lot. It's boring, yeah, Jin added. He keeps making speeches about how we owe him gratitude. It's cringe. Shut up, Wu Hao snapped, swinging the pipe close to Jin's shoulder. I said be quiet, hit me and Master's gonna haunt you, Jin muttered. Xiawei raised both hands. I didn't bring the money, she said. The warehouse went very quiet. Wu Hao stared. What did you say? He said slowly. I said I didn't bring it, she repeated. Because you're not getting paid to release kids you should never have touched. I came to end this, not fund your escape. His face twisted. You always were ungrateful, he snarled. If it weren't for me, you'd never have had a roof over your head. If it weren't for me, she shot back, you'd never have had a house to steal. He lunged forward, grabbing her arm. You think you're better than me now, he shouted. Just because some CEO decided you're his charity case? She didn't flinch. I'm not better than you, she said. I just stopped pretending you'd ever choose us. You made it clear who you were years ago. I was just slow to accept it. He gritted his teeth. You're not walking out of here without paying, he said. A voice came from the doorway. Actually, Yan Kai said she is. Wu Hao spun around. I told you to come alone, he yelled. I did, Xiawei said. He just doesn't listen very well. Yan Kai stepped into the light, no suit, just a simple jacket, but the way he carried himself, that was all CEO. You really picked the wrong day to annoy me, he said. I've had a long week. Stay back, Wu Hao barked. He grabbed Jin, yanking him closer, pipe pressed to the boy's neck. You take one more step and you won't, Zhai said calmly. You're not that guy, Shan nodded. Yeah, he said. We watched you pacing for like an hour. You don't have the stomach for it. Shut up, Wu Hao shouted, voice cracking. Yan Kai kept moving, slow, controlled. I get it, he said. You're scared, your rich sponsors are gone, Ling's going down, you think this is your last card. Shut your mouth, Wu Hao hissed. Thing is, Yan continued, this card is trash. You don't have the guts to hurt them. You barely had the guts to tell the truth for 7 years. Truth, Xiawei repeated. She took a step closer too. Tell me something, Wu Hao, she said, 7 years ago. When they told me my babies were dead, did you even check? He looked at her. Guilt flickered just once. There was blood, he said. A lot of it. I believed what the doctor said. Then why take Ling's money? She pressed. Why babysit me for 7 years if you were so sure I'd never have 4 kids to begin with? He swallowed. Because, he began. Because you knew, she finished for him. You knew there was a chance they survived. You just didn't care enough to find out as long as the cash was flowing. For a second, the mask slipped. He looked tired, old, smaller than she remembered. I was poor, he muttered. You think I had options? Ling paid me up front. She promised more, said you'd be taken care of, said I'd get promoted, said, you had choices, she said. You just picked the one where you didn't feel the pain. Behind them, a faint siren wailed in the distance. The cavalry was close. Wu Hao heard it too, his grip on Jin tightened. Shut them off, he yelled. Call them off or he didn't finish, because Jin moved, master's training, years of drills. He dropped his weight, twisted under the pipe, and slammed his head backward into Wu Hao's stomach. Oof, the pipe clanged to the ground. In the same second, Shan threw his full weight sideways against the beam. Zhai kicked Wu Hao's knee. He went down hard. Mom, Jin shouted. Now, Xiawei lunged for the boys as Yan Kai moved for Wu Hao. Years of pent-up anger found a target, one punch, then another. Don't kill him, Zhai yelled. Let the legal system do something for once. Yan stopped, breathing hard. He grabbed Wu Hao by the collar. You're done, he said. No more promotions, no more fake director titles, no more using people's kindness as a stepping stone. Outside, tires screeched, doors slammed. The police finally arrived. Grandpa appeared in the doorway too, dragging a very annoyed Wayu. I tried to escape, she muttered. He has old man strength. Do you know how fast I had to hobble to keep up with you? Grandpa snapped. These knees are insured. When she saw her brothers, Wayu bolted across the floor and tackled them in a 4-way hug. Are you okay? She demanded. Did he hit you? Did you hit him back? Tell me everything. We're fine, Jin said proudly. We did a combo move. Master would be proud. Can we not turn kidnapping into a flex? Zhai groaned. The officers cuffed Wu Hao, read him his rights, and led him out. As they passed, he looked back once. At Xiawei, at the kids. Do you regret it? She asked suddenly. Any of it? He hesitated. For the first time, his face softened. I regret not leaving sooner, he said quietly. Before I turned into this. Too late, Grandpa muttered. They took him away. Not a contract anymore. Weeks later, the chaos finally slowed. Ling was in custody. Trials were on the calendar. Wu Hao was facing a pile of charges long enough to be its own novel. Sheng Group launched an internal ethics audit. The principal from Kaihang resigned voluntarily. Rumors said a lot of people suddenly found their moral compass. In the middle of all that, life inside the Sheng Lin household shifted. No more pretend husband. No more secret CEO. If anything, too many people knew now. One evening after dinner, dishes were done and the 4 kids had scattered. One playing with Lego, one doing homework, one doing kung fu but make it tick-tock, one helping Grandpa scroll memes. Xiawei sat at the balcony with a cup of tea. City lights blinked below. Yan Kai stepped out, 2 mugs in hand. Brought you the non-burnt one, he said. Learning, she observed. Slowly, he said. They stood there in comfortable silence for a moment. So, he said finally, our contract is almost up. Contract, she echoed, arching a brow. You mean the 1 year cure Grandpa's mood, then see what happens deal? That one, he said. Do you still want a clause about divorce at the end? She sipped her tea. Do you? She asked. He looked out over the city. 7 years ago, he said, I woke up in a hotel room with a missing jade pendant and a hole in my memory. I spent years trying to figure out who she was. At some point I thought maybe I made her up. You didn't, she said. I was there, confused, terrified, and then gone. I spent another chunk of my life feeling guilty about the wrong woman, he continued. Because it was easier than admitting I had no idea how badly someone else was suffering because of my mess. He turned to her. I don't want another contract, he said, not with you. I want something that doesn't expire unless we decide it does together. She stared at him. You know that's just called marriage, right? She said. Like regular marriage, no subtitles. Yeah, he said, that one. She laughed softly. For a guy who runs a multi-billion company, she said, you're not great at proposals. Give me a break, he said. I got outromanticized by my own kid. She asked me to be her dad first. That's facts, she agreed. He set his mug down, took her hand. You don't have to answer now, he said. You've had your whole life flipped upside down. 4 kids, a crazy ex, court stuff. It's a lot, I'll wait. She looked at their hands. At the faint white mark of where a cheap ring used to sit. At the city she used to walk through with her head down. At the living room behind them where 4 little voices argued about who got the last dumpling. I don't need time, she said. He blinked. You don't, he asked. She shook her head. I've been alone with decisions for 7 years, she said. I know what it feels like to choose wrong, to choose nothing. To choose survival over happiness. She squeezed his hand. This time, she said, I want to choose something scary, something real, something that might break my heart, but also might finally put it back where it belongs. He swallowed. So that's a yes, dummy, she said, rolling her eyes but smiling. That's a yes. Grandpa's overacting, of course. Grandpa overheard. He pretended he didn't. He gave them exactly 30 seconds. Then flung the balcony door open so hard it banged the wall. Oh, he gasped dramatically. What's this? 2 adults holding hands past 8 p.m.? How scandalous. Grandpa, Xiawei groaned. So, he said, ignoring her. Did he ask? Did you say yes? Do I start ordering more cribs or walkers for myself first? Can we have 1 day without you planning great-grandkids? Yan Kai asked. No, Grandpa replied. I'm old, I skipped to the good parts. He clapped his hands. Kids, he yelled into the living room. Your parents are getting officially married, again, this time without fine print. 4 heads popped up. For real? Wayu shouted. Do we get cake? Jin demanded. Can we wear suits? Shan asked. Can I negotiate my inheritance in the vows? Zhai said. No, 3 adults said at once. The kids rushed onto the balcony, crashing into them. Group hug, Jin yelled. They piled on, tea almost spilled. Someone stepped on someone's foot. Grandpa's king got wedged between 2 legs. It was chaos. It was perfect. Epilogue, what love looks like after the drama months later. If you walked past the Sheng household on a random weekend, you wouldn't see a cinematic showdown. You'd see a man in a t-shirt mowing the lawn while yelling into a Bluetooth headset about quarterly reports. A woman on the porch sketching new designs, occasionally throwing a slipper at kids climbing where they shouldn't. A grandpa teaching the littlest one how to cheat at cards for practice, not for real. 4 kids arguing over who gets shotgun in a car that's way too expensive to have ketchup stains on the seats. Inside, framed on the wall next to the old ultrasound picture with 4 grainy blobs, is a new photo. All 7 of them, no formal poses, just mid-laugh, mid-blinking, half-messy hair, real, when people asked Xiawei later. Was it worth it, all the drama, all the pain? She'd shrug and say, trauma's not cute, I wouldn't choose it again, but the family I got out of it, yeah, I'd fight the whole story twice if that's what it took to keep them. And if you asked the kids, what does your family do? They'd say things like, Dad pretends he's broke, but he's not. Mom designs epic stuff and also slaps people when needed. Grandpa used to be scary, but now he just spoils us. We're 4, which means we win any argument by default. And if you asked Yan Kai, when did you know you were in love with her? He'd answer, maybe 7 years ago, maybe the night she punched a guy twice her size, maybe the day she paid for 3 strangers' bus tickets. Hard to say. I just know that every time life tried to throw her away, she refused to stay down. And that's the kind of person you don't let go of. No more pretending to be poor. No more pretending to be just coworkers. No more pretending the past didn't hurt, just a family. Loud, messy, healed in cracks instead of smooth lines. The kind of story where the girl didn't marry a billionaire to be saved. She married a man who finally learned how to stand beside her. and together they built something richer than the Sheng Group ever could be. A home where no kid ever had to wonder again, am I wanted? Because the answer was always yes, loud yes. Forever yes.